Hey, my name is Mansur Norouzi from Incrementum Digital. Today, we will be teaching you everything you need to know about Amazon advertising. Whether you want to launch ads for your own Amazon store or you are planning to be a PPC manager for an agency, this video is perfect for you. This information is from our Amazon Advertising Academy course that costs $2,000, but today we will be giving a portion of the course for free. This video is designed to be a complete tutorial. We will walk you through over Amazon Advertising Console and show you everything you need to know, as well as doing a step-by-step keyword research that you haven't seen anywhere else without any paid tools. We will also show you A to Z of how to create campaigns in all ad types. We are making this because most tutorials out there are old. I have been doing PPC for almost 4 years now, and every month we are seeing major updates to Amazon Advertising Console, to the features in different campaigns and ad types, and also about the strategies that have been changed a lot to grow and scale the business. So what we will be covering today is the most up-to-date information that will help you to build a strong PPC foundation. Now let's get into it.
Welcome to Amazon Advertising Mastering Sponsored Ads by Incrementum Digital. My name is Liran Hirschkorn. I'm here with Mansur Norouzi, and we're going to go over the foundations of what it takes to learn sponsored ads and how to run your Amazon advertising.
Hey everyone, welcome to this masterclass, and let's get started.
Okay, so this is a little bit about who is Incrementum Digital. We are a marketing agency. We like to call ourselves the growth engine for your Amazon business. You can see some of our stats year to date. Our clients have helped. We've helped our clients sell over $356 million of products at a ad spend of $58 million at a 25% ACoS. And we're just now in the half of the year. So with Q4 coming up, we'd try to hit as close as possible to $1 billion in revenue among our clients.
And just a side note here, this is until June 24. We just had the Prime Day. The Prime Day data is not here, so the numbers would be interesting to see what they are, what it's bigger than that.
Yes, and as you see, out of that $58 million in ad spend, $50 million on the bottom is in sponsored products, which is why that's where we're starting with the focus, because for most sellers, most brands on Amazon, 70 to 90% of your spend is going to be on sponsored products.
Right. So let's start with what is Amazon advertising and going over basics of what we are even looking at. Okay.
So Amazon advertising, it's a advertising platform that enables brands, businesses to promote their products and services both on and off Amazon. Those are ads on Amazon Marketplace itself, so on Amazon.com or on international sites, as well as on websites that Amazon owns. So you see here, Amazon owns IMDb, Twitch. You can run ads to people who are watching anything on Fire TV, and also what's called third-party sites through a variety of publishers. So if you scroll past various sites, like let's say news sites, CNN, Fox News, you're going to see ads for products on Amazon, and even non-physical product brands can utilize Amazon advertising to send traffic to their websites.
Well, actually, here I have just two examples. I was scrolling through IMDb. As you can see here, this ad is coming. It's an Amazon product, and it's coming through the Amazon advertising, which is DSP. We are going to talk about it in the next slide. And this page is just Amazon main page. As you can see here, this is an ad, as Liran mentioned. It's not a product on Amazon. It's a service from MailChimp, but they are advertising on Amazon through DSP here as well. So these are just two examples of advertising that we are going to talk about. We will see more examples of how they are showing up in Amazon Marketplace itself.
And if you go back for a second, the beautiful thing about the targeting is that Mansoor can be on IMDb and he can see an ad for now, let's say a liquid coconut oil, and I could be on the same site at the exact same time, and I could be served a different ad because you could target based on products you've seen on Amazon. You could target based on audience data. Amazon is the best ad platform for products on earth because they have the most amount of information about you. They know what you're buying. They know, if you're buying stuff for babies, that you have kids. They just acquired Roomba. Essentially, Amazon knows also all the rooms around your house and how many rooms you have in your house, even, right? They have so much data about you that the ads, both that Intuit MailChimp ad, it's going to be, you can serve different ads to different people based specifically on targeting a specific audience, which is much better than, let's say, traditional TV advertising, where you used to see a Super Bowl commercial and everyone sees the same commercial. With advertising on Fire TV, you can advertise to just people who buy supplements on Amazon and buy keto products and combine that audience together. So much more advanced.
So we have two type of Amazon advertising. One is sponsored ads, or mostly known as Amazon PPC, and the second one is DSP, or demand side platform. Liron, can you go over what the differences are between these two?
Yes. So sponsored ads is going to be what you're going to see if you log into Seller Central, or if you have Vendor Central, and you go to your advertising console, you're going to see the sponsored ads platform, which allows you to run ads generally on Amazon with sponsored product ads. You also have their sponsored brands and sponsored display. We'll talk about in the future, but you have ads there basically that show up on Amazon for the most part, and you could target, like you see here, based on keywords people are searching, or you could target product pages, and they are on a pay-per-click model. Generally, sponsored display has views, but we're going to forget about that for a second. Generally, it's pay-per-click. Every time somebody clicks, and it's a bidding algorithm, you're bidding against other people, and that's how the price is determined. DSP, demand side platform, something you're not going to see on the regular ad console that you have access. This is what's called programmatic advertising, where you could target ads on Amazon and off Amazon. And you're not targeting here by keyword, you're targeting based on audiences that you're creating. So people that are into a certain lifestyle or in market for a specific niche, or have a certain interest, or saw certain ASINs, or you're retargeting people who were on a specific ASIN. Very, very targeted types of ads. Typically for DSP, you're going to want to be probably at least $2-3 $1 million business and higher, and certain products are more of a fit for DSP than others. I won't get into all the details, but we're going to focus here on sponsored ads. DSP is you pay for clicks or for views. So you pay cost per impression or for clicks, while sponsored ads is all pay-per-click.
Great. So as Liron mentioned, the overall, everything we are talking in this video is going to be about sponsored ads. So just to add here something that we mentioned, that for sponsored ads, mostly it is pay-per-click. So you pay when a user clicks on the ad versus when a user views the ad. There are some exceptions to this. We will be talking about that, but there are some ad types, even in sponsored ads, that there are based on the impression, not the clicks. But generally, if you look at this, sponsored ads are they are PPC model, like Google ads. But when we go to VCPM, which is mostly DSP and some ad types in sponsored ads, it's paid social, right? It's like paid social, that the audience views the ad and you're paying for that view. And also it is an auction process. You bid for the targets, you bid for the keywords, for the keywords and products that you are targeting. And based on that, and there are many other criteria. We are not going to get into that, but there are many other criteria that will define who is the winner, and based on that, you will get different placements. So let's first start very simple, talk about Amazon placements. It is very simple. If you go to Amazon, you start from Amazon main page, right? And what happens is that when you go to Amazon main page, you search for a product. If let's wait, so we are in Amazon main page. In this case, I'm searching for ankle brace. This page is called search result pages on Amazon. I scroll over the product, I choose a product to view, and then will be directed to product detail pages. These are the three main placements on Amazon that you can see. So let's now talk about the anatomy of Amazon Marketplace. For this one, I want to go to actually Amazon website, and we can talk from Amazon website, amazon.com. So let's say we search for ankle brace. As I mentioned, we are now in search result pages. There are pages of, in this case, we see 7 pages of the results. So all these products, there are some organic results here, plus some sponsored results. And in order for you to understand what is sponsored, what is organic, easily you can see this badge on everything. So this is sponsored, it means this is a sponsored ad. If we scroll down here, you see these sponsored here. So these 4 products are sponsored. And as you can see, it is pretty similar to the organic results. We will be talking about different ad types, but this is a sponsored product, which is native like organics. And then you see the organic results. We scroll down. Again, there are some badges here, customers frequently viewed. As you can see, again, there are this sponsored badge. So everything here is a sponsor. You can see more products there. If you have this badge of climate pillage friendly here, then this is an ad. You have the sponsor badge. This is either DSP or a sponsored display. We will be talking about that. You see another video ad. You scroll down. So there's a combination of organic and sponsored. Also, at the end, again, you can see more video ads. These are sponsored brand ads. And this is what.
And all the way at the bottom, there was another sponsored display ad.
Oh, yes, there are here. These are all the sponsored products ads that you are seeing here. So this is about the search result pages and how the customer is viewing this. Of course, when they see a product they like, they click, they go to the product detail page. Now you have here the product, the main image, the title, the bullet points, and everything. In terms of the ads, you could see that there are some ads here as well, right? Both sections, there are ads with a sponsor badge. Frequently bound together, Amazon is populating this based on the data that they have. You see sponsored product, again, sponsored ads here, similar items. These are actually, this doesn't look like ad because I don't see the badge. So it's just a similar items that Amazon populates based on what they have from the backend. Product detail page. Then you have A+ content here, information about the product. Another set of sponsored products. This is interesting. Again, this doesn't look like a sponsored. There's no badge.
Right. So but underneath that, it's sponsored.
Yes, this is sponsored down here. We have some videos that the customers are uploading here. Some brands, they upload the video themselves as well here, but it's
and also one thing also here is influencers, people who are affiliates, are uploading videos, because if you click on the video and then you click on a product and you buy it from the video, the affiliate gets a commission.
Right. And then more sponsored brands ads, sponsored display, Q&A, and finally we have the reviews, and also there are some ads here. As you can see, there are so many placements that these sponsored ads are appearing, and that's why Amazon advertising is important, because you can showcase your product in different placements. And it brings me to this idea that the key Amazon parts are keywords and products, because if you are a customer, how you are kind of navigating through Amazon is either you are looking for keywords, or you are in the product detail page, you are searching, you are looking at the product pages. So when we are talking about Amazon, these two are really big factors in starting and creating your sponsored campaign. So before even going into how to do that, we want to talk about how to do keyword research. and how to do the product research, because you have a product, how you have to do the keyword research to find the keywords related to your product to target in sponsored ads, plus how to find those related products that you can compete with and show up in their product detail page.
And, a couple of notes to add is one of the amazing benefits of selling on Amazon is you can literally launch a product. You don't have really organic ranking, but you can be at the top of the first page the same day you launch a product. We used to call it day one, page one, strategy. Now, of course, you're going to pay for those clicks and you need to convert in order to do well from that, but really gives you that opportunity to be on, the world's most popular, or at least the world's, the US most popular shopping engine, and be there in front of customers on the day that you launch your product. The key to that is to make sure you're targeting the right keywords and products, because if you want to get those clicks and you're targeting keywords that nobody's searching, you're not going to get the clicks.
Yes, absolutely. So that's a great point. And Liran, in this video, we want to take a different approach to keyword and product research. Most of the videos, YouTube videos, or even master classes, they teach about how to use third-party tools like Helium 10, Jungle Scott, or Data Dive. Since there are so many content around that in YouTube, you can search and find that. We are going to use the first-party data directly from Amazon, and everything that is free. You don't need to pay anything as long as you have brand registry. You will have access to that. So this is going to be probably the first time you are seeing this method. I don't think anyone is talking about that. But since we don't want to talk about any tool here, let's see how we can use this method. So you go to Seller Central.
The best data is going to be data that's coming directly from Amazon. Everything else is estimates, algorithms, estimates, and the data you're getting directly from Amazon is excellent data. And we'll show you why we think this is really, really strong.
So to start, you go to the growth tab. There is this option here, Product Opportunity Explorer. So Product Opportunity Explorer, we have some YouTube videos going into the detail, but for the sake of this video, I'm just going to talk about how we are going to do the keyword research with Product Opportunity Explorer. So here you can search for any niche. Let's say you want to do keyword research for ankle brace, right? I just look for ankle brace. I have a product, it's an ankle brace. I'll search for ankle brace. What Amazon is going to give me here is all the niches that things are related to this keyword. But I don't want to do anything with this. I want to go to the ASIN view. So we click on ASIN view. Now, this is very interesting that you can see Amazon is showing you all the products, 1,000 products that are related to ankle brace, right? You can see here, there are some products are not directly related, but you get enough information from here and you have to refine. You have to go to this list, anything which is extra and it's not related to remove it.
And I guess that's because that's a jewelry you wear around your ankle, which is
yes. And the other way actually is that let me click on this product. The other approach is this: to take any ASIN. Let's say this is your ASIN, right? Instead of searching for with the name or keyword that is related, you can even search here by ASIN. As you can see, search by keyword or ASIN. Let's see how close this is. So now you can see that it is more refined. There are more, all the products now are related to your product. So as Liran mentioned, ankle brace, since it shows you, it could be other products as well. You gotta try for your product, see which one is giving you better results. So that is that. Now, what we are trying to do here is that we are trying to see what are the top sellers in ankle brace, right? If you can find the top sellers for ankle brace, how they are generating sales, then you are kind of breaking that code, right? You are seeing the keywords that they are targeting. You go after the same keywords.
You're essentially reverse engineering what makes up their success, right?
Exactly.
which is ranking for keywords essentially. And what keywords are they ranking for?
Yes. So now Amazon just gave us this results. What I want to do, I want to sort this with BSR, bestseller rank, right? If a product has a better bestseller rank, it means they are ranking better. It means they are having a better sales. So I'll sort this with BSR.
And this is going to be the subcategory, right?
This is going to be the subcat. What do you mean by subcategory?
Meaning this product doesn't average BSR of 6.
Oh yeah, it is BSR. Yeah, it is subcategory. So what happened? Actually, it says where the product is sold, which is actually even better, right? It says in the category that it is selling. This is the BSR.
Right, which means that the first 2 products are selling in 2 different categories because they're both 6.
That is, since this is average, I think it's looking at a longer time period.
They're fluctuating.
Yes.
Right.
So just one point here. Yesterday I was doing this method. I saw some zeros here. Those 0 probably are product that are new or Amazon doesn't have the BSR. So make sure to go to filter results and say for the BSR, your minimum is 1, right? To filter out the ones that they don't have any BSR. So in this case, we didn't have it, but you might see those zeros here.
So
now that you have,
if you now sort it by average BSR, will you get the top one? Like if you sort to get to, I mean, is there anyone that would have an average of 2 or 3?
In this case, I think it doesn't, because it's looking, that's my assumption, that it's looking at a year.
Right.
And over the year, probably it has been fluctuated.
Right. Okay.
And just in case for later, if you want to be more targeted and say, okay, I'm just looking for products with certain rating, put those ratings here, or with a certain total rating, or with certain average rating, or not with price range, you can put these filters and filter out exactly to the results that you want in terms of the product. And as you can see here, based on the one filter that we did and this product, there are 101 products here, which is pretty good. Let's go download this. This is pretty new. It came up, I guess, last week. We didn't have it. So now that we have that file, let's go open it up.
And it seems like it's giving also variations, it seems like, right? Because
yes, it does. So here, I'm going to do very few simple steps. One is that I want to get to max number of 100 ASINs. I'll explain you why I need 100 ASINs. And second is that make sure these ASINs are all related to your product, right? We just filtered out with our product. Let's assume all of these ASINs are related, and we have 106.
One easy way to tell too is looking at the category, right? Because if it's something is totally different category,
right,
it's not going to be relevant.
Yeah, correct. So I got lucky. Here is 100, exactly 100 ASINs. If you have more, just choose 100 because our limit is 100. If you have less, that is fine. Choose whatever you have. You just simply copy this list, right? I copied all the ASINs, assuming all of them are related. Let's get back to our Seller Central. I'm going to go to Brand Analytics from here. Brand Analytics is a super powerful tool. Everything here is gold, but now for keyword research, we are going to go to top search terms. What top search terms does is that it is giving you all the terms on Amazon and the top 3 products that are getting the top 3 clicked products. For instance, here, for Apple Watch, we see top clicked brands are these 3. We see top clicked categories are these 3 categories. And it shows you that this is the number 1 product with highest click, 10.4%. And the conversion share of the market is 547. Then you have the same thing for number 2 product and number 3. Just keep that in mind. This is just based on the click share, not the conversion share, how much clicks that product is getting. So what we are going to do, we are going to use these filters. I'm going to go say, okay, look at monthly date range. Let's look at the latest month, which is June. Apply this. And I want to refine 200 products that I have, right? My thought process is this. When I search this, Amazon is showing me all the terms that at least one of these products are among top 3 products. So when you click on refine, which probably we have one, I'm assuming we have more than 100. Yeah, let's see.
So basically what you're going to see here in the results is basically Amazon is pulling any keyword, any search term that one of these ASINs was in the top 3 clicked. So you see it shows you top click product 1, 2, and 3. So a particular ASIN may not be ranking at all anywhere. And if that's the case, it's not going to pull anything up. But if a particular ASIN is among the top 3 clicked for a search term, it's going to show up. So essentially, it's going to give you the most relevant keywords for these ASINs where they're among the top 3 clicked products. And it's because we know these are the best sellers in the category. This should give you all the relevant keywords within this specific niche. And how many search terms do we have here?
That is what I'm trying to find, actually. Let's see.
Well, we're viewing 100 rows and there's one page.
It should be less than 100, but this is more than enough. And look at here, like all the terms, they are absolutely related to ankle brace, right? I can with confidence tell that this is the easiest way and the most comprehensive way that you get the terms related to your product, because it's coming directly from Amazon. Amazon telling us that in June, these are the terms that these products that are similar to your product got clicked.
So a few things here. You have what's called the search frequency rank. So Amazon doesn't give you here, they give you in other places, but they don't give you here the search volume. They're giving you from 1 until millions, how frequent the product gets searched compared to others. So the more search volume it has, the lower the number is going to be. So ankle brace right now, or at least in June, actually, ankle brace was the 1,548th most searched term on Amazon.com. And that probably equates to many searches. I don't know what it is, 100,000, 50,000. It's going to be quite a high number. Probably up to somewhere between 1 million to 2 million is where you get into like the hundreds of searches a month, I would say. So everything you see here is very, very relevant. And if you'll scroll down, it probably gives you until 2 million or so. I don't know how far it goes up, but yeah.
We have until 1 million, but I remember before, some time ago, I checked and like this was like 200, 300 search volume with Helium 10, right?
Right. And it's very interesting that like seeing the searches that are here in terms of how you may want to even market or things that you're going to include in the product. Like, for example, let's say you're launching brand new and you really wanted to go niche. You might give your title basketball ankle braces. And you would, let's assume that had 3,000 searches a month for assumption. And you said you really want to target. So when people search, you're going to run ads and you're going to put basketball and you're going to market this whole thing around sports and around basketball, and all your images and your A+ content is all going to be targeted. You're more likely to get somebody to buy, even if you don't have the most reviews, etc., because you're targeting to that niche. So you can also even find niches kind of within here and even find opportunities as far as launching products. But we're talking about obviously keyword research, but you have you see everything here. You're going to have from the highest search volume keyword all the way down to very, very long tail keywords.
You also here you're even getting this misspelling brace. So there are so many details there are so many use cases, even advanced use cases from brand analytics for this video, we are just going very simple, just getting this keyword, right? And keep that in mind. It doesn't necessarily mean you have to target all of these. Go through, always make sure you go through these keywords and the ones that, I'll give you one example. There will be many branded terms here, right? Because if a product, if you are seeing what terms getting clicked for a product, of course, if there's a branded search that customers looking for that product, it will show up here and they are getting the top, they are among the top click products. So
And
make
you
sure.
also, go ahead.
Now, just make sure if you don't want in any stage to target the branded keywords of your competitors, remove them. But later on, of course, if you have a better offer, you can go after those keywords.
And you have also the Spanish term, right? So the one with 245,271 search frequency, para mujer, is I think for men, and I'm assuming the first word is.
All right, yeah, this is Spanish.
Ankle bracelet. So you have, you're gonna get really what people are searching for.
And just few side notes here before we move on is that if you want for any reason, because in this case, I don't think I need to drill down to the category, but for any reason, if you feel like you have to drill down, you can choose any of these categories that are related. I don't recommend it, but there are some exceptions that you might need to do that. The other thing is really important about brand analytics is that, let's say you are doing a research for a product which is seasonal in Christmas or for Halloween, or I don't know, for Valentine's Day. You can actually go to that date, exactly that month, or go to that quarter and do your product research for that time period, right? We are going to Q4 and your product is seasonal for Q4. You can go to Q4 and see what are the keywords in Q4 they pick up off. Of course, you have to go to Q1 2020 because 2023, the data is not there. And you say, okay, Q4, give me all the information for your product. For ankle brace, there's no difference. They are always similar.
And by the way, you see ankle brace is not as strong in the fourth quarter. And that's because there's other products that will surpass it because they're Q4 type products and there's more searches. But you'll see massive differences in the keywords. If you have Father's Day, Mother's Day, and you go to that month, or holiday, whatever it is, summer, winter, you'll see totally different keywords. So this is really the best tool to do that, because most of the other tools will give you, if you run a reverse ASIN on Helium or Jungle Scout, it'll give you what's happening right now versus the past. So this is, Amazon has the historical data, which is great.
And again, the good thing is that you have this download, generate the download, and you have all these terms in, you can take them in Google Sheets or wherever you want to work on them.
Put in here, Mansoor, take out the top click products here, take out all those things, and let's just search for this quarterly 2022, because this is also, as a side note, a great sourcing tool, right? Go to December, actually. Let's just look at December.
December, let's go monthly
22.
top 2022.
And let's say you want to do some product research about what stocking stuffers for adults, kind of very broad. Like, what are people buying in December? What are the top search terms? White elephant gift for adults. So, you could go and literally you make the whole product around white elephant gift, the whole title, the whole listing. It's got a ton of searches. Probably can do very well for a month.
And here, we don't want to go to product research, but here's another thing that now you take this, go to Product Opportunity Explorer, see if you can get even, there you go. You go here, white elephant for adults. I don't want to get into that, but
right.
you can see search terms, you can see insights, you can see trends.
Right.
Wealth of information about any product that you want.
You can see what products, right, are selling.
You can see even what products. You can see what search terms. Apart from that, what are other search terms? There is we can have a whole masterclass just about Product Opportunity Explorer, but these are all the kind of.
And that product, that white elephant gift for adults, you change that maybe during the season, and maybe there's a different title you give that during the rest of the year if that term doesn't get searched, where it's just gag gifts for adults, or gifts,
right?
Gifts under $20 or something, whatever it is. So a ton of information that you have here in the brand analytics.
Okay, so great. Now let's go back. We did we did the keyword research. Now you want to do a product research for, let's go product research to find the products that are related, or you can target them.
Right. So we targeted keywords. Now we want to target ASINs, right? Because part of our strategy in advertising is not just showing up in the search results, but we also want to get traffic from popular or ones where we have a better offer, whatever it is, of products that we want to target. We want to show up on their listing. And that you can actually use for sponsored products, sponsored brands, sponsored display as well. All the keyword research, everything we're doing, but we're going to focus on
which we will be going on this in the campaign manager. I'm going to show you where you are adding keywords, what ad types you have, where we are adding products. But this is the first step, that we need to have this comprehensive research to be able to use them for campaign creation. So we use the same tool. Now, when you are the way you have to think is that, then if this is my product, right? Let's say let's say this is my product. I have this many reviews. I have $16 pricing. When I show up in different product detail pages, if I want to show up, let's move on to just choose a product here. So let's say I want to show up here, right? In this product detail page, target this product. So my product can show up here in this sponsor display or other ad placements. The way you have to think about that is that, will customers purchase your product instead of this product that you are seeing here all around? Do you have a competitive advantage over this? Competitive advantage could be lower price, could be you have higher reviews. You had 3,000, this product has higher reviews. But in terms of pricing, the product we looked was 16, here's 27. That could be a good competitive advantage. Or even rating, right? Your rating might be 4.5. This product might be 4 stars. So there are different ways of looking at, do you have...
Or more value, right? You have they sell a 1-pack, right? You have some kind of bundle or something. So yeah, basically value, product, price, reviews. You could also look at listing quality, maybe as a factor. If you're, similarly priced, etc., your product, you have a much better explanation of the product, answering people's questions, etc. That could also be. But essentially, you want to ask yourself, would I click on my ad when I'm seeing this product, or would somebody do that based on looking at this? Because you don't want to just get the click and not get the sale, right? So you don't want to be on every single competitor. You probably don't want to be on the best seller and have a very similar product and be at the same price if they have bestseller badge and more reviews, for example.
Yes. So there are other ways with third-party tools, or even manually going over different listing, different subcategories to find that. But we are going to go to Product Opportunity Explorer, put your ASIN, find all the related ASINs, or put the keyword to find all the related products to your product, and look at here, filter results. Everything that we discussed, most of them that can be identified with numbers are here. So average price, let's say your price is $20. You say, okay, I want to target products that are at least $24, right? They are more expensive than my product. You submit this, and there you go. You have right now 101. Well, here this price is higher. Let's go maybe 30.
Oh,
interesting. It does it filter?
Or maybe it rounds up.
Oh, maybe. Let me all of them are more than 29. That is why. So anyhow, let's go to 35.
And that's still showing up, which is,
I think it's
maybe because you put in that ASIN, because you search for that ASIN stays. You see?
Oh,
that's the
great
ASIN.
point. Great point. Good catch. Exactly. So let's move back. Yeah, seems like that's the case.
Right.
Just that ASIN. If I go to What's the 20?
You put in
Let's go
25.
to
So, yeah,
27 and then let's go to 27. I just want to
yeah, those will be
understand what's happening here. So if you have that product, yes, that's a great catch. It keeps our product ASIN that we are looking and shows us the filtered product.
and using the range there is good too, because
Yes.
I probably don't want to target $100 products because likely that's going to be a totally different offer.
Different product. So yeah, in
but-
this case, we like go to 50, for instance. The total rating is the number of reviews. Let's say you want to target anything that has maximum number of 200.
And in this case, I see you potentially doing a few different types of searches, not necessarily all in one, right? So first, I want to target everyone that's more expensive and like, I don't care what their rating is, maybe. Then I want to target anyone that, well, maybe I want a certain price within my range or within a range, but now I'm also doing the rating. So you could do different searches here and download the list of the targets.
And exactly, and aggregating, those are the list of your ASINs. Like in rating, you can even leave this blank, the minimum. I think so. Let's see. I said, just show me any product that has maximum number of 200 reviews. So yeah, seems like it is working, 200 of reviews. Then more filter, you can go to average rating, right? Show me anyone that has less than 4.2. Let's see, 4.2. Yes, they are filtered. But interestingly, this number, it says, I guess, I don't understand why this number is not changing. It's filtering, but 101 is staying there.
Maybe that's a maximum amount of products.
Yeah, it's interesting. But so as Liran mentioned, you have to do different searches.
Basically 100 products is the max because the one is yours and then 100, right? So
yeah,
seems like
that could be 100 products is the max, right?
Yeah.
Right. So this is the way you do different searches to find your competitive advantage to all these products, and these will be list of ASINs that you can target with your advertising that you are going to talk about.
Mansoor, I have a question.
Sure.
What about I do this, or I'm skipping ahead a little, but I set up my campaigns and now it's 2 months later and there's 10 new competitors. How am I finding those, or what am I doing to get those new competitors into my campaign? Because those are great, right? They're new products without reviews.
So there are apart from this, you can, of course, for those products, what you can do is that going with the rating, right? The first thing is that you can use the rating, because if they are new, their total reviews are lower. So you can say anyone that has less than 20 reviews, find me, you add to the target. But that is, we have another option in sponsored ads that you can say target this category with these criteria. We are going to talk about that. Over there, you can automatically target any new products instead of doing this. Yes, of course, you have to consistently do your research for keyword, for products, but there are other ways that you can target those products without doing the
so search for this instead for the total ratings. And I think you can sort now by launch date, right?
There is launch date here as well. Yes.
Yeah. So now you see, okay, do it again. So now here you go, 7/23, right? These are
launch date.
These are new products. You have to see if it's variation, not variation, but that's good. And as Mansoor said, there's you could target a category, and you can also give, even within Amazon, you could filter for reviews and price and those things, which is good because that's dynamic. It will dynamically change. And you also have ASIN targeting within the auto campaign, where you can pick up new ASINs, and then if they convert, you can add them to your manual targeting. So we'll talk about that too.
Okay, great. Download this. Now you have the list of ASINs. Let's get back, now that we are master of keyword and product research, we are going to talk about sponsored ad types. What ad types we have there? There are 3 different of ad types. It is, first one is a sponsored product, second sponsored brands, and then we have a sponsored display as well. With both sponsored brands and sponsored display, you can run video ads. For sponsored display, it's pretty new. Before we could run video ads with sponsor brands, but now with both of these options, you can run video ads.
Yeah,
Just keep that in mind.
just yesterday, I saw a sponsored display video ad right underneath the bullets. It was pretty cool.
Yes.
To get that placement.
And just keep that in mind. In order to have access to sponsored brands and display, you need to have brand registered. You should be brand registered, otherwise you don't have access to these tools. So here I'll give you some examples. This is a sponsored product. I showed you on Amazon. It looks really native. If someone doesn't pay attention to this sponsored, if Amazon doesn't put this sponsored badge there, you won't be able to tell this is a ad. So a sponsored product, very native. You see the title, reviews, pricing, you see the coupon code and rating. Here are some example of the sponsored brand. With the sponsored product, you can show just one product, and if the customer clicks on the ad, they are going to be directed to product detail page of this product. For a sponsored brand, you are able to show a collection of product, as you can see here, right? If customer clicks on any of these products, they will be directed to product detail page. But if they click on this image or anywhere on the top, they will be directed to a landing page or the store page of this brand, defined depending on what they have set it up. We will be talking about that, and I'll show you. This is a video ad. As you can see, the video is here. It's autoplay. By default, it's on mute, and you are showing one product. But now Amazon changed it. You can run video ads with a collection of products, same as headline ads. You can have 3 products.
And send that to the storefront.
Yes, send them to the storefront. We have headline ads, the ones that I showed you at the bottom of the page. These are the ones that coming from headline ads. And finally, there is another example of the sponsor brand. We have a store spotlight. I don't have example here, but the store spotlight will send the traffic. You can show different sub pages of your product instead of single product here. So the customer clicks, each of these selection will take them to each page that you have defined. And finally,
you're basically forcing the traffic to go to the storefront. There's no
Yes.
detail option with those ads.
Right. And finally, we have a sponsor display. There are, as you can see, looking like this bar here. You can run now video ads with the sponsor display. The only way you can tell if the video ad is in with the placement, you can say if the video ad is coming from sponsor display or coming from a sponsor brand.
Right. And notice the coupon that shows up on these sponsor displays, very, very powerful when you are placing that on the competitor page, and you have a strong coupon offer.
Yes. Okay, great. What is next? We are going to talk about the sponsored ad placement, so you understand what we are going to be talking about. Also, there are 3 different placements on Amazon for all the ad types, right? The first one is top of search. Top of search is referring to the ads that's showing on top row of page 1, right? Here for a sponsored product, we see the top row. This is top of search. Same thing for a sponsored brand. They are on top row. This is called the placement of this ad. We have different reports for placements. It is top of search. Any ad on search result pages that is not on page 1 on the top, the placement for them is called rest of search.
So I have a trivia question for you.
Sure.
Why is placement number 2 so much better than number 3? Not just because it's one closer, but why is number 2? Why is number 1 and 2 kind of a little bit more important?
Because on your phone, mobile phone, mostly you are seeing 2 ads. It's not here on in desktop. You see 4 ads on the top. This is not, by the way, guys, this is not ad, this is organic. So on desktop, you see 4 ad placements on the top, but in phone, you see 2. That's why the top 2 are important. And at least in half of the traffic, or even I could say in some cases, more than half of the traffic comes through phone. I personally most of the time purchase from phone. That's why it's important.
Right, exactly. So it's
And
good. It's good to note you're gonna get significantly more traffic if you're in the number 1 and 2 spot. Obviously depends on your offer. Like the guy up there at $9.99 is probably getting the majority of this traffic versus the $26 next to him, who doesn't even who has 4 stars. The other one is 4.5. But it's good to know, and also it's always good to look at what pages look like desktop and mobile. Like the sponsored brand ads look quite different between mobile and desktop.
yeah, 100%. And then we have product detail pages. Any ads that are in product detail pages, the placements for them is product detail pages. Just to make sure you understand, so I want to quickly take this time and show you on Amazon. So ankle brace. If you go to the report, download the report, the placement for this would be top of search. The placement for these ads are top of search. Anything else in this page, everything, or anything in the other pages are rest of the search placements. That is about that. And for product pages, every single ad that you are seeing in this product detail page, the placement is the product detail page, right? All these ads, their placement is product detail pages.
Yes.
Okay.
And the reason why we're mentioning this so much is these are official terms, because when you see your placement report, you can see rest of search, top of page, and Amazon gives you the opportunity to increase your bids for being the first or on top of the product pages and being the first on product.
Which we will be talking about that. I have a slice comment about every detail, but now what I'm going to do is that I'm going to have a campaign manager walk through first. Let's go to the campaign manager. We talked about everything, but let's see what is really happening there. So in order to get to campaign manager, what you can do is when you are in Seller Central, click on the menu, go to advertising and campaign manager. It will direct you to here. So the dashboard has been changed a lot. This is the latest view. Here in Sponsored by Default, you will be directed to this page when you come here. And as you can see, it's a sponsored product, sponsored that, campaign manager. You have the portfolios, and portfolio are simply, you put a collection of campaigns to a portfolio. You create a portfolio, name it, and put any campaigns that you want, a bucket of campaigns here to see the performance, to adjust the budget, and see a group of them. In the campaigns, you see all of your campaigns here. Every single campaigns that you have created, it will show up here. You have this graph, and you can choose what KPIs you want to see on graph. As you can see, at any time, you can do 4 on the graph. Some of you might have access to the old version that you can just show 2 of the KPIs at the same time. So if you want to see the third one, you have to remove 1 and add the other one. So this is the data, the campaign name, the status, and all the KPIs related to campaigns. To create campaign, you just simply start from here, create campaign. I showed you we have different ad types, and you click which one you want to create. Let's go back. We will come back here to create every single ad types. Don't worry about that. It is the draft. It just, you can create a campaign, don't launch it, leave it as draft. The budget shows you budget utilization. Are you using, like, for instance, for this campaign, it says for 99% of the time you are in budget, 1% of the time you are not. It's a great way to see if the campaigns are performing and they are getting out of budget to increase the budget. You can see all the products that you have, what is the spend and KPI per product. And it is not showing, it's just showing one ad types. I don't want to go into the detail. If you click here, you can see different campaigns related to that product. Targeting will show you all the targeting across all the campaigns and what their performance is. As you can see, by the way, in all of these tables, you have all these filters, right? You can say, just show me the targeting type of exact phrase. Right. Or in campaign, you can say, just show me the
Or to show me
filter.
the problems, right? Show me everything that's above a
Right.
cost X.
Or you can say for type, just show me the sponsored products, right? You can filter with that. Or as Vera mentioned, you can go with a cost that we're going to talk about what a cost is. What is that threshold? Show me everything that has a cost more than 40%. And then you have this filter setting. The only thing here is really important to understand is that in this setting first, you can identify budget for a sponsored product and say, okay, on a daily basis, I don't want to spend more than 100 or 1,000. You can define that. So Amazon will not spend more than that. They will spend, but which brings me back to this discussion that Amazon by default can spend, if you say 100, it could go to on a daily basis 25% higher or lower compared to this budget. So in one day you might see you define $100, but it is spending $125, right? But over the time, the average will be 100 per day. It's not gonna, in average, it's not gonna go over your budget, but on a daily basis,
Right.
it might.
It's only if you are not maximizing, if not utilizing the full budget every day, Amazon takes, okay, there's been $20 today that wasn't used, they're putting it in a little bucket, right? And then, so they're taking that and they're saying, okay, we can spend up to $125 a day using this unspent amount of money. But since it was unspent, your maximum that can be spent is $100 a day. Unfortunately, now Amazon does not give you the ability to say, no, I don't want this. There's no way to do this. The only way to do this is as you're going through the months, maybe to lower some of the budgets if you want to do that. But
and to my knowledge, this is not just about this budget that you are putting here, right? This is talking about, even if you look at this detail, this is talking about every single campaign. It says for every, apart from what you have here, for every single campaign, I'm going to go 25% lower or higher. If you put 100, I might spend for every single campaign up to 2x in a certain day. That is why I highly recommend go with 25%. And if you come here, you see there is no option selected. Amazon is saying that by default, it is on 100%. So make sure to choose 25%.
What you're saying, to kind of break it down, is let's say you have one campaign and you give it $1,000 daily budget, but you set your daily budget cap at 100. Amazon will use that $1,000 amount. So that day, really, there was $900 of unused, and that was your only campaign.
Oh, no. Amazon will first, there is priority, right? It's a hierarchy. It first looks at, do you have a budget here or not?
Okay.
Let's say you don't have budget here. It looks at campaign level. You have 1,000. Okay. If you are at 100, I might go one day up to 2,000.
Right. If you have unspent money.
Unspent money. But if you have 100 and you are here, it might go up to 200 one day. It's not looking at 1,000 anymore. It says, okay, you have this budget. I'm going to look at this.
Got it.
Okay.
Well,
and
right,
then
you spend 25% more than the average daily budget. So it's going to look back for what it was for the month, basically.
Right. Exactly. And here you have the historical of changes of your account. And later on, we were discussing, I just noticed that seems like it shows you the changes in ad group as well. I don't know if it's an update or it used to be like that, but you can download and see what are the historical data on ad group as well. I don't know how detailed it goes.
This is very good if, one, you're using software and you want to see what changes software is making. It's very good if you want to go back and see what you did, or you have somebody working on your account, an agency or somebody on your team. You can go in and you can look at the history of what was done on the account. It doesn't tell you though by person.
No, it doesn't. This does just because this is in the account, right?
Right. Yeah. So it doesn't. Right. But it doesn't tell you if a certain user, for example.
Right. Exactly. So let's quickly go over the other one. I'm not going to spend much time on that. Just very quick overview. The bulk operation is something that you can upload Excel file with all the information about your account and do the changes, bid optimization, create campaigns in bulk. re-upload that, do the change, upload it here, and it will be implemented in all of them. So this is in bulk. Then we have brand content, brand profile, the posts about your brand that you are saying, your store is here, and creator connection. This is new. You can connect with creators. It seems like this is new, right?
Yeah, this is new. This allows you to essentially work with Amazon influencers.
Right.
Yeah, it wasn't beta for a while, but seems like
they have added. And then you have creative tools. Any creative assets that you have, the images, the videos will be here, the translation, video builder. I'm not going to go into detail. Then we have the reports here. Actually, the insights, the brand metrics is a good actually place to see how you are performing in terms of the conversion compared to the market. Brand impression share shows your brand impression share for the branded terms. Cross-channel planner, forget about this. It's more advanced. I'm not going to get into that. Amazon attribution is that you can create a tag, use it in external marketing, advertising. So any traffic that you sending to Amazon through external traffic, Amazon can tag them and you can see the performance here. Amazon Marketing Cloud here, forget about that. We are not going to talk about it. It's for looking at every information you have in DSP, in Amazon advertising, and showing you the customer journey. Reporting summary, it shows you the reporting summary of all the accounts that you have access to. And one important thing here is this sponsor ad reports, which you will be using this a lot to get a report of your campaigns, the search terms, marketing mix models. We are not going to work on that, and that's it. Then you can, from here, you can click and go to the Seller Central. This is just a very short overview. As you can see, I didn't go over detail on them. This is what Campaign Manager is. Now, next, my goal here is that we are going to go over creating one sponsored product. So you have an overview of, okay, we are talking about all this stuff. What is it, like what the campaign is? We will go over a quick overview, and then we will come back to go over the detail of some of the information that you see in the campaigns.
Okay, so we're going to dive into sponsor product campaign creation and go right into the console and show the process of creating ads.
Yes, so let's get in there. The idea is just to show you how it looks like, and then we will go back to the slides to go into the detail of every section that you see in the campaign creation. So to create a campaign, you go to Campaigns Manager. Here, click on Create Campaign. So for now, we are going to create the sponsored products. Click on Sponsored Products. In the first section, you come up with a name. Put your name for the ad group. Then the next part is selecting your product. For this, I would go with, let's select this product, which is in stock. And you can select as many products as you want, but we are going to talk about this in every single campaign. We want to have one ASIN or one listing, right? Maybe the variants. We are trying to be more targeted and just go after the same listing. If you need to add variants, you can add variants as well. We try not to have different products from different listings in the same campaign. Next is targeting. So we have two types of sponsored products: automatic targeting and manual targeting. Let's continue with automatic targeting. As you can see, here explains that Amazon will target keywords and products that are similar to the product in your ad. So what you do is that you add the product and you let Amazon to, based knowing your product, go select the keywords, go select the products to show your product in there. That is what it means to target automatically. You set your bid. I'm going to talk about this as well. If you click here, you can set bids by target group, right? Close match, loose match, substitute, complement. I'll go over this and what each one of them mean. You can even have a kind of customized bid for each of these targets. Next, you can add negative keyword targeting. the keywords that you don't want to show up in exact or phrase. We are going to talk about it, what exact and phrase means. In the next section, you can add ASINs that you don't want your product to show up in their product detail pages, right? Maybe it's a product that their offer is great, and since Amazon is doing automatically targeting all the products, you don't want to show up there because you are not going to convert. So you can add them here, either from the list or from searching here, you can add them to the negatives. And finally, we have campaign bidding strategy. We have 3 types. We are going to cover what they are and what the use case is. Then you have this adjustment bid by placement. For top of search, if you remember, we talked about the placement. We are going to talk about what these are and how to use it. And finally, we use the campaign naming. Name your campaign. Usually we put the way we do that, it's ASIN, for instance. Here, if it's a sponsored product, we go with the sponsored product. And this is, if it's a auto campaign, click auto, and then some specification, explanation of what this campaign is, right? What you are doing here. If you want to add it to any portfolio, you can choose the portfolio. For start date, usually you can choose a start and end date, but most of the time when we create campaigns, the start date is right away, end date, we don't have any end date. And whenever we want to pause it, we just go to campaign manager and pause the campaign. And finally, we have the budget here. This is a new thing. It says, do you want to launch these in Canada and Mexico as well, which we don't. We don't have these products there. So that is about sponsored product auto campaign. Let's go back here and look at the manual campaign and what we have there. So same, create ad group, select the product. Now we are selecting the manual target.
Did you add a budget, Mansoor?
What's that? Budget is right at the end.
Okay, let's add that budget, because what's interesting on the side here is it gives you a forecast when you enter at least at least a $10 budget of
yes, this is like we haven't created added the target. That's why you're not saying here. So I'll go back at the end. This time you probably will see that. So manual targeting, we have 2 manual targetings. Either we talked about that, we are targeting keywords, or we are targeting products to shop in the product detail pages. So if you choose the keyword, you select keywords in different match types. We are going to go into the detail of what these match types are. Let's say we love to target in one match type in every campaign. So let's say we are going with exact, to just add the keyword there. If you are not changing this, it's going to add with suggested bid, as you can see. You can say with default bid. If you go with default bid will be the bid that is assigned to, it will be assigned to the whole ad group, right? Let's say it is 1. So all of these targets will be, will have the bid of 1 assigned in the ad group level. But we usually use this custom bid, which whatever the number is, it's gonna add them here. As you can see here, 1.5, or you can click add all. We love to have a limit for how many keywords we add in the campaign, which usually is anywhere from 1 to 15. We don't want to go over that, but you select your campaigns, or if you want to add in phrase, you select the phrase. You could add them in both match types. Let's say here, as you can see, I can add in exact and phrase, even in broad, right? But this is not the way we prefer it, because we want to be as narrow as possible.
Ultimately, you don't want to mix match types in the same campaign, because if for some reason you find, and this is common, sometimes we see that phrase match is performing better than exact. We have a campaign with just phrase keywords with its own budget, and we're not mixing in budgets between the different match types. And so it's easier to kind of control where your spend is going around a particular match type.
Yes. And also there are some stuff here as well. You can ask Amazon to sort these keywords by click, or sort them by number of orders, right? But this is the order that historically, I believe this is the orders generated in your account. It's not the whole market. So it just looks at your account and sees which one have been generating more orders. It could be useful, but we usually don't use it.
Right.
So let's remove this and just keep that one keyword. Next section is you can add any negative in phrase or exact. And the rest is like auto campaign, right? What's your bidding strategy? Do you want to add anything to the placements? What's your campaign name? In this case, it's going to be manual, which we use manual, and whatever the keyword is. Usually I write, if I have one keyword, I write the name of the keyword. Actually, before that, I say, okay,
Exact.
the exact campaign, and a description that can give you an idea of what is going on or what is the strategy in this campaign. Actually, it doesn't give anything here. I don't know.
Yeah, did you choose the keywords? Did you add the keywords?
Yeah, we have the sometimes I see it populates, sometimes
Or maybe you
there's
didn't.
not enough information.
It says to add at least 3 keywords. Did you add 3?
At least
Add
okay.
them to the campaign?
Okay, let's do that. I'll add one more.
Only available for target with suggested bids. Oh, you have to choose the suggested bid, not the
Yeah,
custom.
let's try it. Let's remove this. Add 1, 2, 3.
Mansoor, next to it is that is that impression share?
This is
No, on the left.
impression share. Yeah, this is impression share and impression rank
Impression rank.
from your account, right?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so that is it.
And it gives us the forecast there of 1 to 10 clicks.
Yeah, it says we are with this budget. Let's
Right.
actually increase the budget here.
Weekly.
Doesn't look like for me.
Did you click
right.
out that budget? Maybe it'll update.
Yeah, doesn't look like
No.
it is. It's 100. Yeah, it doesn't look like to be
Working, so it's a beta, I guess.
probably. So let's take a look at this product targeting. Everything is the same. The only difference is that you choose. You can either add categories. We are going to create this later, but if you remember, we were talking how you can add a category. Let's say this is the category that this product belongs in. Either you could add this directly. It means that you want to target the whole category. Or what you can do, you can refine this. Now, when you refine this, you can refine and say certain brands that you want to target, or no, you want to say any product between a certain range, rating, or the shipping, if it's Prime eligible or not eligible. That's how you can add. If I go here 15 to, let's say 25, you can see that it tells you how many products you have filtered. So that is about that. And in product targeting, also you can add in, first of all, you can search from here. You drill down, find your category, or you can add individual product. Amazon gives you some suggested products. Here, you can look at those suggested products in the list. I don't know why this appeared. Well, this is not good. So you can select from here. You can search by ASIN or enter a list. You can also upload the individual products if you have a list, like what we did with our research. If you have all those products, you can bucket them in different groups and upload them here. So that is everything about product targeting. In this case, for keywords, we negate keywords in exact or phrase. For product targeting, we negate products and brands. Actually, I don't remember this exclude brands. I feel like this is a new thing.
Yeah. You can include an entire brand, not to target them.
Right. This seems like to be new. So exclude products or brands, that is an overview of what we have here. Now let's go back and talk about every single of these segments that we saw. So campaign bidding strategy, there are 3 types: dynamic bids, up and down, dynamic bids, down only, and fixed bids. What they are: for fixed bids, Amazon will use your exact bid for all opportunities and won't adjust your bid based on likelihood of the conversion. What this means is that whatever the bid you put for the keyword and say, okay, for this campaign, because for the bidding strategy, we define that in campaign level. You say this campaign, the strategy for bid should be fixed. So if you put $2 bid, Amazon will put your targets in the auction with $2 bid. It's not going to increase or decrease it. It's not going to touch it. It's going to put in your auction process with $2. Now, what that cost would be, that's a different story, but Amazon won't change that bid number. Dynamic bids down only. Amazon can lower your bid in real time when your ad may be less likely to convert to a sale. So what Amazon does here is that it looks at your product, and let's say your bid is $2. For a keyword like ankle brace, it checks your history, looks at the keyword and says, I believe this product is not gonna convert for this keyword. As a result, I'm gonna decrease this bid. You put 2, I'm gonna put your bid in $1, or I'm gonna put your bid in 0. I don't want you to get into the auction, or brings the bid to put you in an auction that you get different placements. So Amazon here lowers your bid up to 100%, can lower your bid from 0 up to 100%. Now in up and down, it is similar to down, but it has the upside as well. Amazon says, okay, if you have an opportunity, if I see an opportunity that you really can convert, I can increase your bid up to 100%. So that's why we call it up and down only. If you're going to go more technical, for these ones, it says up to 100 increase for top of search placement. So when it wants to put you on auction for top of placement, it can increase up to 100% for your bid. But when it is for other placements, it is just limiting to 50% increase. In the next slide, I have an example to show you what these numbers look like. But Liran, do you have any question, or do you think anything that?
One thing to note is there's specific use case for each one of these. Generally, by default, we're generally running dynamic bids down only. So if you had creating campaign and you have to choose, that's the one we would choose. We sometimes will use fixed bids if we're launching a product. We know it's not going to be the best converter because, you know, it's a new product, but we want to be very aggressive. We want to drive aggressive sales, and we want to tell the Amazon algorithm, don't lower my bid. Keep this as the bid because I want to show up in good placements, and you know, I'm confident because I lowered my price or whatever it is, I'll convert, and don't touch my bid. And up and down, we don't really use as much. We'll more use the increase for top of search placement on its own without necessarily the up and down, where we want to increase only for top of search or only for top of product pages, which you could do as well. But generally, we're either using down only or fixed. Again, going up and down is not bad. It just means you're being more aggressive. You're giving Amazon the opportunity to have more control over your bids. And again, depending on what you're doing, I would say if you're using software and not managing manually, probably want to do mostly dynamic bids and based on the goals and targets you're putting into the software, let that control your bids rather than Amazon, and just keep it down only.
And as Liran mentioned, for fixed bids, we usually, for all of launches, for most soft launches, we use fixed bids at the beginning, and then we switch after our launch period is over, we switch to down only. The other use case for fixed bids is that if you have a product that you want to relaunch, right? It has had a bad story, or you went out of stock, you want to relaunch this product, you want to be aggressive with ads, we go with fixed bids because we don't want Amazon to change the bid. Most probably it's going to bring the bid down because it says, okay, this product doesn't have a good history. So you might see not good results or no impression from your campaigns. This could be the reason that you are in dynamic bids down only, or even you are in up and down. So here's an example. Let's say you put $1 for a target or a key or a product for the bid. For fixed bids, in the auction, Amazon is going to put you with $1. It's not going to change your bid at all. With dynamic bids down only, your bid in the auction will be anywhere between 0 to 1, right? We said Amazon can decrease up to 100%, but it's not going to go over $1. In dynamic bids up and down, for the top of search, Amazon can increase up to 100%, which means and also can decrease up to 100%. So your bid in the auction could be from 0 up to $2, And finally, for other placements, product detail pages or rest of the search, we mentioned that for 50% it could increase. So your bid could be from 0 up to 1.5, even though your bid is $1. Okay, placement bid adjustment. I showed you this part as well. We now know that top of search is the top row, even in sponsored products, sponsored brands, product pages, every placement in the product pages.
And I guess we'll talk about this here, but one of the reasons we don't use a lot of the dynamic bids up and down is because if you do that, and then you also on top of that do top of search placement, maybe we'll give an example here, but you can really skyrocket what the bid is unknowingly.
We have an example actually.
Yeah. Okay, great.
So, okay. For these two placements, as you can see, the rest of the search is not here. So we can't adjust bid for rest of the search placement, just top of search and product page. You can increase the bid up to 900%, right? If you can see here, it says if a 75 bid will remain 75 for this placement, dynamic bidding could increase it up to 1.5. Actually, never mind.
That's a dynamic bidding. I think if you enter the percentage,
there's no number here.
Right.
So this number could be from 0, 10, 20 up to 900. And it is 900 increase, right? If you put 900 here, it means you are willing to go to 10x 900 above your plus your current bid. Adjust bids by placements work together with the selected bidding strategy to determine the final bid that will be applied. Here is an example. Let's say your bid is $1. For top of search, you say, I want to increase 200%. For the product page, you say you want to increase up to 100%. Now let's look at different scenario cases and see what's happening. Fixed bids first. Your bid for top of search will get to 3. Why? Because your current bid is $1 plus you said you are willing to increase up to 200. So 1 plus $1 multiplied by 200, this bid will end to $3, right? It means, yes, you have one bid of $1, but in the auction, Amazon can increase your bid up to $3. For product pages, we said 100%. So $1 plus 100% increase gets you to $2. For rest of the search, we have no leverage. We can't do anything. It's whatever the number you have there. So $1. For bids down only, it's going to be the same thing as you mentioned now, because let's forget about these numbers that we have here, 200, 100. We calculated them for fixed bids, right? Now let's look at this. We said for dynamic bids down only, it could increase up to 100%. So it's going to be, your number will be between 0 to 3 that we calculated with these placements. For product page, same idea. It could increase up to 100. So your bid will be 0 to 2. For rest of the search, your fixed bid is 1. With dynamic bid down only, it could be in the range of 0 to 1. Amazon can decrease up to 100. Now for up and down, if you remember, we said Amazon can increase up to 100%. Our fixed bid is 3 based on after calculating these top of search. So it could go 100% is 6. It could be anywhere from 0 to 6. So look at here, from $1, you can achieve ultimately to $6 bid.
Right.
For product page.
And imagine if it was $2, right? Then it would be 12.
Yes.
Right.
Right.
Crazy.
And here for the product page, you are at 2. Amazon can increase up to 50%. So 50% of 2 is 1. So your range could be 0 to 3. And finally, for rest of the search, it could be 0 to 1.5.
Maybe later on, we'll touch on how you can also use this system to manipulate and control your placements.
Yes.
A little bit better.
It gets a bit advanced.
Right.
This is a basic version. But Well, we will talk about that in the course. There are more detail that I go to
Yes.
detail of that, but I think that
Yes.
would be advanced, and I don't want for people who are
Confused.
just new to
Okay.
this get confused at what we are talking about. Even the subject here for people who are just starting is going to be really
Yeah, that's why generally speaking, I would say use down only. Maybe at launch, use fixed bids when you're launching a product. Make sure to go back and change that to down only. But only use that fixed bids if you want to be more aggressive and you're placing kind of like a higher bid.
All right. Next, if you remember from campaign, was targeting type. For automatic targeting type, I showed you we have 4: close match, loose match, substitutes, and complements. They are pretty easy. You can even tell from the name. For the close match, Amazon will show your ads to shoppers who use search terms closely related to your product. So if you have ankle brace, if customers searching lace-up ankle braces, ankle brace for women, anything that is closely related to product, Amazon will put your product there. Loose match, Amazon will show your ad to shoppers who use search terms loosely related to your ankle brace. Leon, do you have an example loosely related to ankle brace?
Yeah, I mean, maybe it's foot, foot. We saw a term about like, foot like accessories or something
Yes.
like that, right?
Yeah.
That could be a term that's a little bit more general.
More general, more broad, and loosely related to
Yeah,
your.
like foot pain accessories or something, right?
Yes,
You know,
exactly.
kind of a loose match.
Yeah. Substitutes, Amazon will show your ad to shoppers who view detailed pages of products similar to yours. So these two are shown up in the search result pages. These are related to keywords. These are related to products. So any product that is closely related to your product, Amazon can show you, put your product in the product detail pages of those products. Complements, Amazon will show your ad to shoppers who view the detailed pages of products that complement your product. So these two cases are for products. This is closely related for products. This is loosely related that somehow your product is related to that product, but it's not an ankle brace. It could be another product that is related. So for manual keyword targeting, we had 4 types: exact, phrase, and broad. Now we are going to see what they are. First one is exact match. The search term must exactly match the keyword or sequence of the words in order for the ad to show up, and will also match close variations of the exact term. Exact match also includes the plural form of the keyword. Here is an example. Let's say you have a keyword, chalk marker. You add this to your campaign. You target this keyword in exact. Your ad can trigger for chalk markers. As you can see, this is plural. It's not exactly similar, but it could trigger for plural as well. It could trigger for the chalk marker because there are some words like this that Amazon doesn't count them, neglects them. But as you can see, chalk marker, we have this here. But for these ones, your ad won't show up. Why chalk markers? Why? Because there is a word white here. We don't have any white. Every single of these words should be there. Marker chalk, it's not gonna trigger because the order is not the same. We have chalk and a marker. In this case, the order has changed. So your ad won't be triggered for these keywords if you are targeting chalk marker as exact. Next, we have a phrase match. Shopping query should have the exact phrase or close variation and be the same order as keyword term. The shopping query may contain words before or after keyword term phrase. So let's imagine that you're targeting ankle brace in phrase match. What your ad can trigger for? Adjustable ankle braces. Ankle braces is the same, right? With the same order. We have a word before, so that's fine. But we have the main phrase here. Ankle braces for men, same. We have the same keyword. After that, we have another word, some phrases, so it could trigger. But here are some ineligible phrases that we won't be triggered our ad. ankle lace brace because we are bringing a phrase between, and we said it should be in order, same order. Braces for ankle, the same thing. Brace goes to the back, but here we have ankle and then brace. The other thing is that for is another keyword that Amazon neglects. This is same as brace, ankle for Amazon, not organically, but the PPC, they are the same.
So if it said ankle for brace,
It could trigger.
I mean, even if it doesn't make sense, it could trigger.
Yeah. Finally, we have broad match. With broad match, the shopping query must contain all the keyword terms, close variations, and synonyms. This is something new that Amazon has added. Words can be in any order and contain additional words. So if you target ankle bracing, broad match, eligible keywords, pretty much here, everything could be eligible. Adjustable brace for ankle, right? Brace, change, ankle vent after brace, because the order doesn't matter. Any keywords can be added anywhere. Ankle brace, ankle lace brace, it is eligible. Ineligible is just the case that the keywords are not there, right? You don't see the ankle, you don't see the brace. Well, now actually I have to fix this.
Right.
Because in this new version of broad match that Amazon just updated, Amazon says I can match with the synonyms as well. So in my opinion, brace and support, they could be synonym. So if you go to the sponsored product, guys, this is pretty new that Amazon has changed. So if you go to search term report, later we explain, you might see that you're targeting this in broad match, but the search term that is being triggered, your ad being shown, is ankle support, because support and brace are synonyms. It brings me to this concept that if you want to avoid that, there's another match type called broad match modifier, right? If you add plus before each phrase, you are telling Amazon, don't look at synonyms for me, just show me the exact phrase. I don't want you to replace brace with support. Just
you're adding a plus before each word in the phrase or in the key in the search term keyword that you're targeting, that you don't want Amazon to give you a synonym. So as an example here, plus ankle brace, Amazon would not allow to give you a synonym for ankle, but they could for brace.
Yes.
Right.
And
so
if you want Amazon don't give you any synonym for brace, you have to add another plus before the brace.
Right.
So it
now,
would be plus ankle space plus brace.
Now the question is, if we're doing all the keyword research, why not just target in exact match, right? I know the keywords, so I'll give you one perspective and then Mansoor will add. But generally speaking, there's so many different ways people search. And what happens is, if you think about it like kind of like a funnel, when you do a broad match, you have a huge net, right? Or a funnel, like you're going out to fish and you're able to throw a huge net and you bring many, many fish in. Okay. Not all the fish may be the exact fish you're looking for, but you're bringing a lot of fish. When you do phrase, net gets medium size. Let's say you have large, medium, you have big net still, but a little bit more targeted. And then exact is a lot more targeted, but your area of where you're fishing gets smaller, right? So each one of these gives you expansion to more people, but with that also comes a little bit less targeted of exactly who you want. But it also does allow you to discover new keywords you didn't think of or didn't search, or new keywords that people are searching for that could lead to sales. Maybe you didn't think it was as relevant, and turns out it is. And then you can take those actually and target them back as a exact match, phrase match. But this is kind of the theory. Also, we don't always know exactly how the algorithm works with Amazon, but there's all kinds of different placements at different bids. And we think that targeting in the match types, all matchups, gives you ultimately more impressions, more visibility.
Yes. Yeah, I think you covered it very well. And those are the reasons that's why we don't go just after exact, we work on phrase and broad. as
Yes,
well.
and ultimately what we'll show you continue here sponsored brands, but we'll show you as you learn to optimize and more in the course and also here a little bit is that ultimately if a particular keyword doesn't work well with the match type, then ultimately we either pause it, we lower the bid so you don't get as much impressions. You are able to still have control, but we want to have that wide net, at least when generally when we're targeting. We also have specific ways we do product launches. Some of it again gets a little advanced beyond just what we could do in a shorter training.
So in next step, we are going to go into the sponsored brand campaign creation, have an overview and get familiar in what you need to know about sponsored brand campaigns. To create the campaign,
Ron Hirschkorn and Mansoor Narazi here. Just quick break while you're watching this video. Hope you're enjoying it. Wanted to tell you about a special offer we have for you just for watching this video on a couple of things. Number one, if you're enjoying this video on Amazon advertising, this is just the tip of the iceberg. Mansoor has worked for well over a year on creating the best, most comprehensive course around Amazon advertising. We want to offer you a 10% discount. Check out the QR code here or the link in the description to visit the course, see all the modules, all the testimonials, and use the code on here on screen YT10 to save 10% off the course. We also have a free Amazon ads audit for you. You can get more information on incrementumdigital.com. We'll have the link up here as well and in the description. Hope you enjoy the video. We look forward to hearing your feedback and questions for future videos that Mansoor and I will create.
As usual, we go to the campaign dashboard, click on campaign, create campaign. In this step, we are going to choose the sponsored brands, continue. So it's pretty much similar to sponsored products to some aspect. At the beginning, we have to come up with the name. As I mentioned, I just want to talk about this as well. In this case, we usually, since sponsored brands are for collection of campaigns, usually we don't put the ASIN. We put, let's say you have a collection of ankle braces or collection of some type of braces. We just products. What we do, we write that collection or what that collection is. Anything that reminds you, okay, this campaign is related to these type of product. Then put the name of the brand, what type of the ad type it is. And from here, we are going to talk about, is it exact? Is it storefront? Is it... So we have 3 types: product collection, store spotlight video. If it's a product collection, usually what we do, we see PC, meaning product collection, and then the rest will be about your targets. If you are at exact, write exact, and a brief description of what the campaign is about. If you want to put it in any portfolio, select it from here. The start date and end date, as I mentioned, we don't do that, but in your case, it might be in a situation that, let's say you want to create campaign for Prime Day and you want them to be running just 11th and 12th of July, for instance. Well, July is past, but for those 2 days, you can say the start and the end date to make sure it gets paused after the occasion is over. What's your budget? For this one, we have lifetime budget here as well. At the moment, it's not working, but for daily budget, similar to our sponsored product. From here, if you have different brands, right, in your account, let's say you have 2 brands in your account, you can select any brands that you want. In this account, as you could see, we have 6-7 brands. For now, we are going to stick with the body tools. Bidding strategy here is, it's an interesting one here. Not many people, I guess, using it. So let's read what it says. Automated bidding. Allow Amazon to automate optimized bids for placement other than top of search. So what it says is that if this is automated, Amazon will automatically optimize your bid for all the placements except top of search, right? But if you want, you can turn this one off, and then you can tell that, okay, set a custom bid adjustments for placement other than top placement. You can kind of define that number instead of
What's the point of this? What's the reasoning for this?
That's a great question. Because the headline ads usually perform the best when they are on top, right? The headline ads. I'm not talking about video ads.
Right.
In the rest of the placements, from my experience, and of course it depends to situation, your situation case by case, in the rest of the placements, usually it doesn't perform. For instance, you have an ad all the way at the bottom. Let me actually go to one example here. Amazon.com. So this is headline ad, top of search, customers see, they click if they want, they go to a store or they click on the product. Rest of search will be these ads all the way at the bottom, right? Usually the performance is not as good as top of search. And sometimes I generate the report for the sponsor brands. There is a report for placement. I see that for top of search, we are performing good. For the rest of the search, we are performing bad. My only way to make sure I can reduce the bid for those placements is from here, to decrease.
So in theory, if you said, I only want to show up at the top, then you can decrease your bid by 99 or 100% for
You could do that.
placements other
Yes.
than top of search.
You could do that. Let's 100. I'm not sure it works. No.
Right. Yeah, 99. Right.
Yes. So pretty much this way you won't show up in other placement except top of search, or even you can increase it, which I don't see any. Yes.
So would you generally recommend to do that, to decrease either by 99% or some other number?
I would say let's not make an assumption.
Get the
Leave
data.
it on. Yes, when you have data, go to the reports, get your sponsored brand placement reports. If you see you are not performing for rest of the search, come here, make this any number that you want to hit the target that you have. So when you start, go with automated bidding and take it from there, see how it performs. Then you have the ad group naming, put any name that you want. So here is where it becomes interesting. We have 3 different ad formats for sponsored brands. Let's start with product collection. For product collection, as you can see, promote multiple products from a landing page of your choice. For the landing pages, you have either a store on Amazon, so you can send the traffic to the store. You select your store. In this case, this is the brand that you want to run. And then here you can choose the page, right? You have the home page and all that. Let me go actually to the store page of this brand. As you can see, we have different pages. This is home. You have products, bundles, video. You have different posts, different pages there. So you can send traffic to any of those pages. For now, let's stick to home. For landing page, I'm going to get back to landing page after we go through the store. Targeting, pretty similar to sponsored product. Either you want to target keywords or products. Let's say we are targeting keywords. Again, same concept. What targets you want to target, what match type, exact, phrase, and broad. Let's just stick with exact for now and add just 2 keywords here. Actually, I want to make another note about, we talked about broad match modifier, but if you target here rival tools, right? This is going to be broad match. And as I mentioned, it's going to go and find synonyms. But in this case, I want to add usually for a sponsored brand and for a sponsored product as well with the changes that Amazon made, we recommend using broad match modifier. So how we can do that? Let's remove that, enter a list. So this is our keyword. We are going to add plus before each of them and add them as broad. Now you have the broad match modifier. So I just wanted to make sure that you guys understand what is the difference between broad match modifier and broad. Both of them are being targeted in broad. The only difference is that we have this modifier of plus here.
Which means no synonyms, essentially.
No synonyms, exactly. So, okay, these are the 2 keywords we are targeting. Let's scroll. If you want to add any negative keywords in exact or phrase, For this exact phrase, what we recommend, if you have a product that there are some keywords that you know for sure you might get triggered, but they are not related to your product. They are absolutely not related to your product. Those keywords, I would recommend to add them in all of your campaigns. Other than that, as you are starting your campaigns and you are getting your reports, you might see some negative opportunities. We are going to talk about the situation there, but you might find some negative opportunities. Take them, add them back to your campaigns. Liran, can you give one example of the situation that at the beginning you
Yes.
have to negate this?
Yeah. Well, I'll give a simple and then a little maybe more complex situation. But for example, let's say you're selling a Bluetooth speaker and you are selling only the color black, but there's lots of searches for red Bluetooth speaker, white Bluetooth speaker. You might want to add red or these other colors as a negative keyword. In this case, you might add it as a negative phrase instead of negative exact. What that is a negative phrase will eliminate any customer search that includes the word red in that search. A negative exact, if you just type in red, it would only exclude if somebody searched just the word red. So if you wanted to do it more specifically, you'd probably put in red Bluetooth speaker to exclude. Now, a little bit of a different use case is, let's say you're selling kids' toys, a toy for kids, and generally it's for kids age 6 to 8. And there's probably lots of searches for toys for kids age 6 to 8. But then if you're targeting keywords like kids' toys, then a lot of other searches are going to show up kids' toys. And if you're targeting like phrase match even, you're going to see kids' toys age 1, kids' toys age 3 to 5. So you may want to, in your keyword research, see that, and then you can add some of those again, either as negative exact or as a negative phrase. So you could take the word, the number 3, the word 3. You could take some of these key words that may be part of a search and include them either as negative phrase or as a negative exact. Again, to break it down, negative phrase means any search term that includes these words is totally going to be eliminated. Another example, back to the Bluetooth speaker. Let's say I'm a private label Bluetooth speaker brand, and I know that a lot of people are searching for Sony. And I think, my chances of selling to somebody who's searching for a Sony Bluetooth speaker are pretty low. Then I might negate the negative phrase Sony. Or I'm selling coffee brand, I might negate Starbucks, or some of these phrases that people may not buy my product if my ad comes up for it. Now, one thing I would say is you want to be careful in a sense, because you don't want to assume. So if you're going to do this in the beginning without having any data, you want to be extremely confident that you for sure don't want your ad to show up. Or maybe you're working with a very limited budget and you just want to be very targeted and you're comfortable eliminating some of these things that are more kind of outliers. Otherwise, a lot of times we would say, okay, if you had previous campaign data already, yes, when you're creating a new campaign, you should add those negatives in, but you really want to let the data speak, because who knows, maybe you eliminated the word 4 or 5, and that person searching for kids toys for 4-year-old buys the product for a 6-year-old when the child's older, right? You don't know. So we just say wait for data, but if you have previous data or you're very confident, then you can add it in your negatives when you're starting a campaign.
Okay, awesome. So let's continue. Now we are going to create the ad, right? The copy of the ad. So you add a name here for the ad. We then add the logo. Just go ahead and select the logo from, let's see if there's any logo here. Okay, for now,
Buddy,
you don't have any logo related to that, but I'm just going to select this one. But you select your own logo for the brand. What did you say earlier? I'm sorry.
Oh, the Buddy Tools had the Happy Mother's Day, but that was kind of a hack.
Yes.
Because instead of a logo, uploaded
right.
A message.
And then for the branding, write your brand name here. Headline is, and what is interesting is that live here you can see all the changes. It's mobile. I'm gonna go to desktop top of search so to see exactly what's going on. Then next is write a copy. I'm gonna write it was drywall tool, right? Maybe
Yeah.
revolutionize your drywall work by Pro Tools. Okay, good. So let me see how many characters you have here. If you have 50 characters, you gotta be able to write a copy under 50 characters. This can get advanced, but what we try to do with the sponsored brand ads is that to make sure first the keywords that we are targeting in our headline ad in the campaign, we are using them here in the copy to show when people are searching, they see the ad, they see the copy with that keyword that they are looking for. And also we do some analysis with reviews, features, benefits from the product to understand what people care and what people like about these type of products. We bring them to the copy.
Yeah, so remember yesterday, right? We looked at the product, or we recorded yesterday in the earlier part of the video. When we recorded, we were talking about the product opportunity explorer, and we saw that the ankle brace, people said like comfort was a major thing, right? So if we're targeting a set of keywords around ankle brace and comfort, so we can, we can kind of write something like ankle brace designed for maximum comfort, something like that, right? And then we have the keyword, so the person recognizes right away that the ad they're seeing matches what they search for. And we know that people are looking for something comfortable from the reviews. Helium 10 has and some of the tools have review analyzers that you can kind of pull the data from a specific listing, or obviously, as you saw, even better, you can analyze kind of the market or specific product in the product opportunity explorer that we looked at.
So, okay, great. Now we have our headline. We go down to product. You can select up to 3 products. These products called featured products. Why they are called featured products? Because they are being featured in your headline ad. So select any product. I would recommend to add, first of all, products that are related to the campaign that you're running, to the keywords that you're targeting. And second is that you have a good review, you have a good situation. For instance, this product might not be a good option to have headline ads. There are so many detail goes into that. You can add your new launch product here along with a product that you have high reviews to show that the customers that, okay, you have that proof, social proof. At the same time, they can see that you have a new product. Or you can add complementary product, right? If you have a drywall tool here, maybe another complementary product in number 3 spot for customers to see, okay, you have that tool as well. There are so many things that you can get into play here. Be thoughtful about that. We are going to keep that, the products that you have.
I mean, probably in a real world scenario, and assuming it was relevant, I would take that product with 1,500 reviews and put it in the first spot, right? And so that it's more visible.
Right. So now I want to show you custom image. Before getting there, just look how this is our ad, right? This is finalized. We have an ad custom image. This is on the desktop, top of search. This is how it's going to look like in the desktop, in the rest of the placements.
And by the way, if you go back to that image, this is likely why the conversions are not that great here, because somebody doesn't even see the products, right? They just see a logo and the headline, then they might click and the products don't match exactly maybe what they're looking for. Like they don't see that it's a product with 4 stars, whereas on the top headline, they saw that. And that's why, Mansour's point about not seeing great performance always on the different placements, because they exactly always look the same as the top of search.
Right. Now we go to the phone. Top of search, it's going to look like this. We don't have custom image. And finally, for the other placement, that is it. Let's go to custom image. Add a custom image. There are some criteria. Make sure to follow that in order to get approved. So I'm going to just randomly choose this product. I don't know. Oh, okay, let's say is that.
Yeah, you can kind of move around.
Oh yeah, it's how you want to focus on, I guess.
Right.
Yeah, this is not the best image, but we are gonna apply for the sake of this video. Okay, let's see if it. So as now you can see the images here, and also the placement is bigger, right? Before that, it was pretty small. Let's go to phone, top of search. Look how beautiful it looks compared to before that. It was very small logo with 3 products. Now in the phone, you are getting a huge placement in the phone when customers are looking. Even in top of search, that's the same situation, or all the placements. Well, usually this placement, this doesn't show, but this placement sometimes get that custom image as well. But the point being that you are enhancing your headline ads all of a sudden with adding custom images. It's super important to add that.
There's basically no reason not to. And, we audit many accounts, and very often we see people not using it, either because they have old campaigns from maybe prior to having it, or not knowing, laziness, whatever it is, and not utilizing this. And you're missing a big opportunity, because especially on mobile, this pushes everything else down the page. You're taking up most of the page. You have a great lifestyle image. Like when I see this, let's say I'm a contractor, I'm going to do some work in my house. I see, oh, okay, I see now. This is how you use this product, right? I couldn't necessarily see that in the other images, and I see exactly the use case for, how I would use this in my own house. And that gives me comfort in understanding to buy the product. And again, it pushes things down the page and gives you more space. So it's don't launch a sponsored brand ad without using custom image, because it's a no-brainer. At the same time, if you have existing ads, you can go back and you can edit. In the past, Amazon will not let you edit. You can edit now, and you can go back and update, so you don't have to redo your campaigns. You can just go in and add in the image.
Yes, absolutely. So that is everything that you needed to know about this section. Now let's go back, take a look at new landing page. So for new landing page, the only difference would be that instead of send the traffic to the store, you will choose a selection of products and create the landing page yourself. I don't know here if you can find any.
You probably just search, but yeah, search Buddy Tools. And one thing to note is that the difference only comes into play if somebody clicks that little shop button, because what happens is the 3 products that are showing images, basically you click on one of them, it goes to the detail page, both if you're sending the traffic to the storefront or not. It's only in the case where somebody clicks, if we go back to the top, go back to the ad actually, to the Amazon page.
Amazon page.
It's only if somebody clicks all the way on top on that little Shop Techwear Pro button that it will send to either the landing page or the storefront. But if they click on
actually, Laurent,
or the image,
the whole area here, right?
Image.
Let's try it. In these 3, any one of these ones you click, it's going to take you to the detail page of these 3 products, right? But here, if I click, it's going to take to the landing page, which is.
Well, this is a storefront.
This is landing page actually. I've realized that.
Yeah,
I've realized that when you create landing page lately, not lately, for the last few months, Amazon creates that when in the final destination, it shows.
If you have a storefront, it's sending it to within the store, which is, ultimately very smart, because it allows the person to then continue to browse the store. There's sort of generally no reason to send them to a landing page if you have a storefront, because you could just recreate this page within your storefront the way you want it. But those are your options. But a lot of times people are going to click on the product directly also.
Right. So where are we? Yeah, unfortunately, I don't see more products here. You have to search. We can search and add them.
So if you search Buddy Tools on all of Amazon, you'll probably find it. Sometimes that's just how it is. There you go.
Yeah, let's add 1, 2. I'm just adding all of them randomly. I don't know even if they are all related to this brand or not, but make sure you're adding related products. So what we have done, I added 8 products, right? If I click here, preview your landing page, you can see the landing page. And the first product always is being
Featured.
zoomed here in the middle. And one note that I wanted to mention here, make sure you don't overwhelm the customers with so many choices. Don't add 20 products here. I would recommend 6 to 8 is more than enough for them to see what's going on. Otherwise, there's a study that if you add more, actually the conversion rate will be less. People are less willing to purchase.
Mansoor, if you go back and you change it to just 3, it's going to give you a different view?
Just to 3?
Yeah, let's remove the additional 5, let's say, because 3 is
after 4 it becomes that figure. Yeah,
right.
3
so
is good.
This is something to note, that if you do, you do get a little bit of a different look if you're adding 3 versus if you're adding 4 more products.
Yeah, let's add the 4th one now and go back there. You can see that 1 is highlighted now.
Featured.
Yeah.
So really, like, think about what is the product I want to kind of sell with this ad, because probably you have the one that's got the most reviews or most popular, whatever it is, and that's the product you should add first. Don't just randomly add them, so you get that in that sort of
here. So as you can see, this is the first one. If you want to change that, you could move, let's say we want this one to be on the top. You can move that up, and that one now is here zoomed. In terms of the rest of the setting is the same. The only point I would mention here is just now for product, you can get selection only from the products that you added to the landing page, right? In the store, you can select the products from the page that you are driving. Any product that is there, you could add as a featured product. Here is the same. Any product that is in your final landing page could be featured here. You can't get any other choices. So that is about that. Let's now look at the store spotlight. It's a pretty interesting ad, and you have to select your store. You want to do targeting keyword or product. Let's just stick with the keyword. Negation, create ad. And the only difference is that we have now store pages. Instead of selecting products, we select store pages. And if you get there, let's remove this. Change page. So I'm going to change this to mark in guard. It says 2 or more pages in your ad shows the same product. Well, there is an issue because they have the same product. That's why it's giving us issue. But for the sake of this video, we are just going to explain you what it is. So now let's look at the top of search. Interestingly, it is, let me go to another one, maybe. Okay, there you go.
There you go.
So now, as you can see here, instead of products, we have views full size. Instead of products, we have pages. We have a group of products. If the customer clicks on this, they are going to get directed to the product sub page in your store. If they click on here, they will be directed to mix it sub page. So you are forcing the traffic to go to your storefront, to the different sub pages. And the view in mobile is like this.
So the question is, when do you use this versus when you use another type of ad, or what's a good use case of utilizing this?
So usually I recommend for the keywords that you don't know exactly what the intention of customer is. One of them could be your brand name. For instance, let's say you are Zesty Paws that we talked about. Zesty Paws has so many different products, vitamins, probiotic for dogs. There are different products. When a customer searches for Zesty Paw, you don't know what they are looking for. Are they looking for vitamin? Are they looking for probiotic? So as a result, you can create this store spotlight and put different categories of your product. The first one would be dog vitamins. It's going to direct the customer to dog vitamin subpage. This can be probiotic. The other one can be another product. So you are showcasing everything to kind of, and mostly you are going to showcase the best sellers categories, right? So you know that you're putting what customers want in front of it. That's one use case for branded. In terms of the category keyword, it is, we love to use it for broader keywords. I'll give you one example. It could be, for instance, TV holder, right? For TV holder, there are so many different sizes, different types of TV holders. One is that hanging out from the wall, one is that standing. So you don't know someone who's looking for TV holder, which type of these products they are looking for, but you could create a store spotlight. And if you have all these type of products, you should have a store that designed based on this, right? Now you're putting different stores from your website, from your store, to direct the customer to what they are, what type they are looking for.
You're gonna create, one page that's a TV holder for, 20 to 32 inch TV, right? For 20 to 32 inch, and you create another page, 32 to 42, whatever, right? 40 to 60, another page, and then you can line it up. Also, another broad example, you're a seller of, baseball game type of equipment. You sell gloves, bats, balls, cleats, different things, and somebody's searching for baseball equipment, right? You don't know which 3 products they want from your store. Do they want mitts? Do they want gloves? Do they want bats? And so you put one page, bats, mitts, accessories, whatever it is that you're creating, or bats, whatever, cleats, different pages that you send the traffic to, and you're showing the person you have a wide array of kind of selection, and you're forcing them to go to your storefront. You'll see this, a brand, think of a brand like Adidas. Somebody just searches a brand name Adidas. Again, like Mansur said, you don't know what they want. And actually it's a mistake, because we see big brands often. So here's Adidas using.
Actually, they are using it.
Adidas is using it. Other brands are not. Adidas is doing it. They're showing you their best sellers, footwear and men. Now, kind of weird, because why they chose footwear and men is odd. If anything, you'd have women's, men's, but the best seller is a good example. And then they could have had footwear, and then they could have, or men's and women's. Look at Lego is interesting one. Let's search that. So Lego is not using it. For example, they're assuming what 3 products they're going to put up there, maybe that are popular or whatever, but it seems like totally out of left field in terms of like the products. Look up Puma, for example, is an interesting one. See what they're doing. So Puma, they're just giving you hats. What if I'm looking for, shoes or the watches, or, now because they're at some vendor level with Amazon, or, they have this additional kind of placement from Amazon where they get, under 100 and watches and other things. Maybe Amazon they have some kind of special placement for the watches, but a lot of brands are not utilizing this properly.
Right. And brand analytics is a great place to understand what to put there, what categories to put there. We are not going to, of course, talk about that. It goes into the detail and needs another hour just talking about that, but brand analytics is a great place for that as well. So finally, we have just video ad. Let's take a look at the video ad as well. It's pretty simple. This is actually new. I'm going to talk about that after. Let's go with product detail page. You select your product. You select your product, whatever you want to advertise, what targeting you have, keyword or product, select the target, negation, and all the way here, you just choose your video. Hopefully they have a video. No, they don't have a video, but it doesn't matter. You add your video.
You can also check the video builder that Amazon has there to allow you to kind of help create the video.
Yes, you can create your video. I think it's going to take time, so we
won't do it, but you can essentially add images and text and create like a slideshow.
Right. So as you can see, your video will show up here, and if you go to Amazon, you can see this ad, and you have the product. You click here. Anyone clicks, they will be directed to the product detail page. Same for, this is how it looks like in desktop. Now let's go back to the store. We had this option. This is pretty new. Now you can drive traffic to any pages in your store. Let's stick to the home. And the way it's going to look like here is, now you can add products, right? I have 3 products. I have the video. And this is how it's going to look like on phone. They showcase the video and customers can select any product. Or if we go, this is in how it looks like in top of search. Interestingly, you don't see the products anymore.
Right.
In the top of search, it is just video. And if they click, they will be directed to the storefront. Now let's look at desktop top of search. That's the same concept. There is no product. They are just showing the video and driving to the store.
And
finally, rest.
In the targeting, you can do some kind of increase for top of search video, right? Like as far as the bids.
I believe we don't have it here. Actually, we have it for the rest of the search.
But not for video, top of search video.
We have no. For top of search, what you have is these bid. Oh, is this for video or what happened? 32.
It's suggested bid.
Is it? Wow. Yes, exactly. But anyhow, so the thing is that whatever you put here, if you want to be on top of search, bring your bid high. And for the rest of the search, say, okay, I don't want that rest of search to be that much. I want maybe to decrease 80% for the rest of the search. If you want to push for the rest of the search, for top of the search, that's how you could do it. So that is everything you needed to know about creating the sponsor brand. Let's take a look at the sponsor display as well quickly. Close this. From create campaign, we go to sponsor display. Name of your campaign, portfolio, put the date, what's your budget, set up your ad group name. And we have 3 bid optimization. Optimization for reach, which is, as you can say, is a, let's read this. We will optimize your bid for higher viewable impression, drive brand or product awareness by showing your ad to relevant audience to maximize reach. So what Amazon says is that we are going to optimize your bid in a way that we reach more audiences, right? We get more impressions. And this optimization is VCPM. It means you're paying per impression. It's not per click like the other ones. The differences that we're talking about, you can now see here. If you use this one, you start paying per 1,000 impression. The next one is optimize for page visit. We will optimize your bid for higher page visits, drive brand and product consideration by showing up your ads to customers more likely to click. Amazon saying that if you click on this for your optimization, we will optimize your bid. We will optimize your ad in a way that you get in front of customers that are more likely to click. So they are optimizing for page visits. And if you could see here, it is a cost per click. It is CPC. So you pay per click, as you don't pay for impression. And then we have optimize for conversion, that they are saying that they are going to optimize this the whole campaign to bring more conversion. This is cost per click as well. In the past, I have tried all of them. Usually the one that I go is for page visits. I feel like Amazon will eventually even like become better in terms of the backend algorithm. But when I was trying conversion or for reach, I didn't see any significant difference. For reach, I'm not going to go because I'm against VCPM here. With DSP, we run VCPM.
Right.
There are some situations that you want to run VCPM. If you want to bring awareness, if you don't care about that, how many sales you are bringing, if you just want to put your product in front of more customers, VCPM optimized for reach is a good option. Otherwise, I usually go for page visit or conversion. I personally have seen better results for page visits, but doesn't mean you have to stick to this. Test this for your own product and see how it works. So here, sponsor display, we have 2 parts. The video is a new one. Let's go with the image first. Select your product. And as you can see, we can select more than one product. Contextual targeting, choose products and categories to target your ad. This is same as product targeting, right? They name it here contextual targeting, but it's product targeting. You can select any category like a sponsored product that we saw, or even individual products. Let's say we click this product, or in category, there are some good stuff here, similar to advertised product, right? Let me remove both of this. So if you add this, Amazon is going to target all the products that are similar to all these three products, right? So you got to be careful what you are putting here. If you are using that, if they are different type of products, your ad will show up to similar products of all these three products, everything that are similar to these products. Then you can choose any category, refine them, the same that we had as product, or add individual products. Now you can add logo here. So this is the logo we added. Same as headline ads, you can add a headline copy here, and also custom image. Let's add actually a custom image. Okay, I'm gonna just go with this. Okay, doesn't work. Let's see if this works.
It's
Yeah, there's a certain criteria that needs to have. Seems
right.
like
These images are 1,000, but it needs to be 1,200.
can we get from the stuff?
You could try a stock asset just to try it.
I like your glasses.
Yeah, my eyes are kind of straining, so
Let's just
I decided to put this.
okay. Let's select this. Well, actually, it's not bad.
No, it's not bad. Drywall, yeah, that's it.
Our product is not drywall though, but it's, I think it's.
Oh, well, yeah, we're looking at a different one here, but
Okay,
that's a good
let's
example.
apply. Okay, great. So it's just, the idea is just to see how it looks like, and you have different placements. Now you can see how many placements we have. The first one, Amazon product page on the right side, Amazon product page in the middle of the page. This is how it's going to look like. And interestingly, it doesn't show the custom image. Amazon mobile. There you go. This is how it looks like. So you can see how they are. And also, if you check this, when you are going to Amazon, you will understand that, oh, so these ads probably coming from the sponsored display. The same type of ad, they could come from DSP as well. So keep that in mind. That is it. And if you click on any of this, let's see where it takes us to the product detail page. How about logo? Yeah, product detail page. Did I remove? No. Okay.
Products advertised, 3 products.
So here is interesting part. I guess I didn't notice before. I'm guessing if you change right now, it is showing the first image, right? Anywhere you click. Now let's click these. This is the first one. Now I'm going to add back 2 more. This should be probably shown here, as you can see. And if you click, it's going to take you there. But what is the difference? The difference is that now Amazon, when we are looking at similar to advertised product, Amazon is looking to all these 3 to find the similar products. But in terms of when you click, it's just going to take you to the first product.
Right.
Okay.
So there's kind of not a big additional benefit, right? Like to add those.
Right.
To add those other products.
And next is audience. Audience is very interesting as well. We have Amazon audience. You go based on lifestyle, interest, life event, in market. You can choose whatever you want from here. I'm trying not to get into the detail. There are wealth of information there. View remarketing. This is very good. Reach custom build audiences who viewed product detail pages, matching criteria you choose. So it says, if we click on this, it is views remarketing, advertised products. So you're going to target products that they viewed the product that you have chosen.
Right. This is a retargeting campaign. So
it's a remarketing campaign.
Right. Remarketing, they call it remarketing. Same thing, remarketing campaign. And basically you're targeting people who viewed your ASIN but didn't buy in the last 30 days.
Didn't buy. And last 30 days. That's a great point. Otherwise, you could go to let's say 90 days and add the same thing. If you see the difference, this is 30 days and
Right.
this one is looking at 90 days. Of course, they are overlapping. You could just go with 90 days.
Right. And it tells you actually the available impressions, right? So the longer you go back, the more impressions you have. For conversion, you know, typically the shorter period of time, the better chance to convert, because if I looked at it, I don't remember the products I looked at 90 days ago, right? Maybe I bought a competitor already, or I'm not in the market for the product anymore. Versus, you know, 14 days is going to be probably your best conversion. And one other thing you had there was purchase remarketing, which is also interesting. If you go back,
we are going to go back. Yeah, we are going to
Yes.
go back. Just I wanted to mention this one as well,
Yes.
which is advertised products, look back, view remarket. Now, in this case, similar to advertised product,
Right.
you are targeting customers who viewed your competitor's product that are similar to your product and didn't purchase. That is what it does, similar to advertised products. You're targeting those customers who viewed, didn't purchase from your competitors. And this is the rest is the categories, right? They have been into the category, they have viewed the category. What Liran is mentioning is purchase remarketing, is that you are going to target the audience. Let's remove this two and add, let's say, this first one. This one is you are going to target the audiences that who have purchased from you in last 30 days, which is really powerful. If you have a consumable product that
Right.
customers every 30 days or every 90 days they are purchasing, right? You
Right.
can click on that and say, okay, whoever purchased in the last 90 days, let's.
And we have the perfect example here, right? Coffee.
Yes.
Consumable product, and it's a perfect use case for this type of advertising.
And now the difference here with DSP becomes more clear. In last 90 days, you can't define. It's like any people in the last 90 days, the person could have purchased yesterday. You can't define that. You can't exclude them. But when you go to DSP in these criterias, now you have more control to say, okay, people who purchase more than 30 days, you get more more control over there.
Another thing you could do in DSP is you can remove subscribe and save customers from the audience. In this case, you may have people that bought in the last 90 days, but they're on a subscribe and save for every 3 or 4 months, or, you know, so you're targeting people who are buying anyway. And so some of the results you're going to have, if that person happens to see the ad, now the sale is going to be attributed to the ad, when in reality it shouldn't be. And then you have the same thing with retargeting, and you might do retargeting and see like crazy good results, you know, 10% ACoS or even better. But sometimes that's also because there's a certain, again, it's a little bit advanced, but it's the understanding the difference in view conversions, which is somebody goes to your listing, maybe they add the product to cart, maybe they don't. 30 minutes later, they see a retargeting ad, they scroll past it, they don't have to click, they view it, and then they come back and buy. So the question is, did seeing that influence them in their purchase? And the answer is that we don't know, right? They came back to, we don't know. In some cases, maybe yes, in some cases, no. And so the numbers are a little bit inflated when you look at view, you know, especially retargeting, remarketing type of campaigns where you can't, and especially where you don't have that control about removing subscribe and save or controlling the days people see. So for example, in DSP, I could choose not to retarget in the first 24 hours. So I'm reducing that chance of somebody, if I have a big enough audience, I'm reducing the chance of somebody, you know, who would come back anyway that day and target them. So a little bit advanced, but just understand that the numbers in view CPM, the reason why Mansoor said he doesn't love it is because it's not, we know when somebody clicks, it's the intent to click and go somewhere. And with views, it's not necessarily the case.
Right. Okay, awesome. That is all. And for video, everything is similar. Just at the end, instead of the product and images, you put video here. So that's all the difference that you see. We can add video to sponsor display. Great. Let's continue with some terms and definitions. Now, everything that you need about campaign creations, the goals, you know it. Let's go to some terms that you might need to understand. First, this is the bid, the maximum amount that you will pay for a click, as we talked about, as you saw there. So this is a bid that you put. Impressions, the impressions metric is a count of how many times your ad has been served to a user. So anytime that customer sees that your product, right now I'm a customer, all these ads, they got one impression because I saw the ad, right? And also a small note, all the ads that are in this page, I haven't scrolled down, all the ads, they got impression. Now, the good thing, the interesting thing is that even if I search again, now these ads got 2 impressions. So anytime the page refreshes, it adds another impression. Clicks, the number of times your ad were clicked, very simple. Cost per click is the average amount paid for a click, calculated as total spend divided by number of clicks. So you look at your campaigns, how much you spent, how many clicks did you get? That would be your average cost per click. CTR, or click-through rate, the ratio of how often shoppers click on your product ad when displayed. The calculation is pretty simple. You divide clicks by impressions, multiply by 100. This is going to give you the CTR, right? How many clicks you are getting from the impressions that you are getting. Conversion rate, which is really important, is the ratio of how often shoppers purchase your product after clicking on your ad. Pretty simple math. How many orders you get. I'm mentioning here advertising orders, of course, not organic. How many orders you get compared to how many clicks you have got from the campaign. ACoS, or advertising cost of sales, the percentage of sales spent on advertising. So ACoS is advertising spend divided by advertising sales multiplied by 100. TACoS, which is really important for you guys to understand what your goals should be, how you have to measure advertising, is TACoS, total advertising cost of sales. Some people call it TA cost. I love to call it TACoS. It makes me hungry, so that's why I want that. The percentage of total sales. Now we are talking about total sales, organic and advertising, spent on advertising. It means you divide your advertising spend by total sales. Every sales that you get for an ASIN or an account, if you want to calculate this in ASIN level, all the sales of ASIN, in account level, all the sales of account, and what you have to spend in those sections. For example, let's say you spend $20, you generate 100 sales through advertising in ad sales. As a whole, in your account level, you have generated 300 sales with organic and advertising. So your ACoS would be 25 divided by 100, which we have it here for ads. It means your ACoS is 25%. TACoS would be 25, our spend, divided by 300. It means your TACoS is 8.3. What this means is that for TACoS, from every sales that you are generating, doesn't matter it's PPC or organic, we are talking about in average, 8.3% of that goes to your advertising. You spend 8.3% to generate sales. In terms of ACoS, you spend 25% of every advertising sales to generate a sales. So 25% of your sales goes to spend.
And you might ask, why am I including my total sales? I'm talking about advertising. I spent $25 on ads. I sold $100 through those ads. But on Amazon, there's a flywheel effect. The sales that you get from ads also help your organic ranking. And so there's an influence from advertising on your total sales. And it's why we don't just look at our ad performance in a vacuum without looking at how that's influencing the organic sales. You'll often see people who say, you know what, I'm pulling back, I'm cutting back on my ad spend. And as a result, they will also sometimes lose organic ranking because their sales velocity drops and their organic sales drop. as a result, because their positions lose organic ranking. So on Amazon, everything is related, and that's why we like to look at a holistic view of how everything is working together, as opposed to just ACoS. Of course, your ACoS is important. If you have a very high ACoS, something's not working right. Either you have very high cost per click, or very high conversion, a very low conversion rate, or something's going on. But you also need to look holistically at the whole picture, and why we generally like to measure things based on tacos.
Yes, absolutely. Here I have a quick example just to show you in reality what's going to happening. This is one campaign. These are all the KPIs that you see: impression, clicks, how much we spent here. Where is it? Around 2,400. We generated 13,000 sales. So let's calculate this. CTR, we said it is clicks divided by impressions. We have 2027 clicks divided by impression, which brings us to 44% CTR.
That's your click-through rate, right? How many people are clicking based on seeing, how many people are presented something, and what percentage are actually clicking on?
Yes. So you see this number here as well. Cost per click. We are calculating how much each click cost us, right? So what is our spend? We have take the spend, divide by number of the clicks that we have, 2027. It brings us to 1.22. For every click in average, we are paying 1.2020. And it's very important to understand cost per click is different from bid. When you put the bid, you are saying, you might bid, I don't have here the targets, but you might bid $2. Your cost per click is 1.22. You are just saying that you are willing to go up to $2. It doesn't mean you will pay $2. As you can see here, we are paying less here.
Right. It's an auction system, right? So you say my maximum cost per click that I'm willing to pay is $2, or my average is $2, and that gets put into the auction, but you win at $1.22 essentially.
Right. And finally, ACoS are spend divided by sales. We have the spend and sales brings us to 18.93 that you see here. That's the ACoS. Now, I'm going to explain the bid optimization in a few slides. That everything you need to know about bid optimization is here. First of all, this is a good question, that when should we start the bid optimization? There are 3 factors that you have to look before doing optimization. 1, have you given enough time to your campaign or not? So time is the first factor, because there is a 48 hours delay in reporting sales. That is one reason. If you are looking at last 48 hours, your data in campaign dashboard are not correct. They are not reported correctly. You can't trust them at all. There is another concept of sales attribution that I'm not going over that here, but for a sponsored product, for instance, it takes 7 days for Amazon to give all the attribution. From day, if I click sponsored product ad today and are purchased in day 6, that sale is going to get back attributed to this campaign, to this product. That's why we have that 7 days. In that case, we usually try to start optimization at least after 7 days, but just keep that in mind. Even if you optimize earlier, last 48 hours, you can't trust them at all. Always exclude that 48 hours. The second is that, do you have enough data to optimize? Data in campaign is equal to clicks, right? If you have enough clicks, it means you have enough data. The only thing that shows you if you have enough data or not, it is clicks. Of course, after the time, after you have enough time, look at, because you might have a product, you might have a campaign in 10 days got 10 clicks. You might have a campaign in 3 days, it gets 200 clicks. The campaign in 3 days with 200 clicks, you have more data than the other one that had 10 days but 10 clicks. So data and number of clicks are important. We usually try to look at anything more than 15, 20, depends to the product as well. But it's really important to consider that. And the second is spend. How much are you willing to spend to get a sale? The spend becomes important here because you might have for one target 40 clicks, but the amount that you have to spend is $3. So I'm like, okay, I'll give this target a chance to see how it performs because I'm not spending much. But there might be a situation that for a target, you have got 5 clicks, but you are spending $40 for, I'm exaggerating, but with 5 clicks, you got $40 spent. It's much more than you want to spend. So you have to start optimizing, although you haven't got enough clicks, but spend is so high that you need to do the optimization. Leon, did you want to add anything?
Yeah, and part of this has to do with also your product. Are you selling a $8.99 product, or are you selling a $99.99 product? Is going to make a big difference, because on a product that's $100, you probably have a lower conversion rate than a product that's $9, because people are doing more research, or it's not an impulse purchase, right? Like a $9 product. And so you're probably going to need to give some more clicks so you understand on a specific search term if you're based on what your typical conversion rates are when you need to make changes, versus a $9 product, maybe after very few amount of clicks, maybe after 5 clicks or 10 clicks, let's say at most, that's going to be enough for you to know if something, if you need to make a change. So there are factors you need to understand. And if we add another aspect into it, it's also the actual keyword, right? Is the specific keyword you're looking at highly, highly relevant to the product, or is it more a loose match type keyword that you wanted to kind of test? And then you see already 4 or 5 clicks, nobody's buying, like, okay, probably I was right on my hunch, it's not going to be a good keyword, versus this is my main keyword for my product, I need to give this more of a chance. So it's science and art involved here.
Yeah, exactly. So let's look at here. I'm going to explain the bid optimization concept. Let's say this arrow shows you your tacos from right here. Before this start is 0 ACoS. Then we have some ACoS goes all the way. That becomes the ACoS because a higher number, and your target ACoS is here. We have a certain concept that the performing targets are the targets that have ACoS lower than our target ACoS. So if they are here in this green zone, it means they are performing targets, right? And consider the ACoS equal to 0 is not here. Right. High ACoS targets, any target that ACoS is greater than our target ACoS. So the red zone, every target that falls here is high ACoS targets. Non-converting targets, the targets that are not bringing any sales, or the ACoS is 0. So right here we have this non-converting targets. And we have another one that we try to always consider, low impression targets. The targets that, because of bid optimization, they are not getting enough impression. They are not getting the chance to get impressions. Now, this slide is going to be super important. Everything you need to know about bid optimization is here. So pay attention here. It might get a bit complicated at the end, but we have the same graph that we have. So first of all, for non-converting targets, the targets that have 0 sales, ACoS sales, there are different options. Either we have to negate them, either we have enough clicks, enough data, or the keywords unrelated, and we decide to negate them. So this is one option. In some scenarios, we decide, instead of negating, if the keyword is related, we decide to do drastic bid optimization. So to make sure that target which is not converting is not wasting spend, right? You bring the bid drastically down to make sure either it starts performing or the impression goes low, we are not wasting money there, or maybe they need more data, right? And need more data, it goes to the idea of that it didn't get sales, but it has got just 3 clicks, 4 clicks, or it hasn't gotten enough impression. So you need to wait, or in some cases you need to increase the bid. For those ones that don't have any data, don't have enough clicks, you gotta wait. You don't need to do any changes. Now, the first place that we look is the safe zone, right? If the safe zone that I'm talking about, we are not going to do any bid changes for this safe zone. And usually the way I look at it, it is plus 10 or minus 10% of your target ACoS. If your target ACoS is 30%, and if I have a target that is between 27% ACoS or 33% ACoS, I consider this target in a good spot. I'm like, okay, I'm hitting my target.
Right.
If the target is there, I'm not going to change the bid. Let it go. It is great. It's bringing me my results that I'm looking for. So here we have new bid. When we are doing optimization, our new bid will be equal to old bid. We're doing no change. The next one is the ones that are performing really good, even much lower ACoS than we want, right? Lower than 27%, lower than 10% differentiation that we have. These are the keywords that might have potential sales increase. For that reason, we want to slowly increase their bid to see if we give them more chance. Will they bring us more sales or not? So we start increasing bid for them. And our recommendation is that your new bid should be your old bid, multiply just with 5%. We want to very gradually go up. We don't want to do drastic changes to all of a sudden to jump to another placement. So slowly we will increase this with 5% if you are in this zone. And finally, we have the high ACoS targets. These are the ones that you want to control. You want to bring the bid down to make sure that this ACoS per click goes down. As a result, the ACoS goes to our safe zone. So the way we look at it, I have the formula here, but it might look complicated. It's very simple. You can even neglect this formula when I explain how we are working with that and just work with your intuition. But if you want to like automate this with bulk sheet, you can use this formula. The new bid would be 1 minus your ACoS that you have, whatever your performance is, minus target ACoS. What is your target ACoS? In this case, 30%, divided by 2, multiplied by cost per click. The reason we are bringing cost per click here is that when we do optimization for the high ACoS targets, we base everything, our optimization of cost per click, because that cost per click causing that high ACoS. So when we are checking the bid, we are optimizing the bid. We don't optimize based on bid. We optimize based on cost per click. And you calculate this, but at the end, we don't want to change any. We don't want to change our bid more than 80% of cost per click. This is going to be our threshold. I have an example to show you what this means. So let's get this example. Our bid is 2.4. Our cost per click is 2. And we have, let's say you have a target with 40% ACoS, okay? If you calculate these numbers, if you put 40% here, 30% here, put your cost per click, this number, the whole thing here in parentheses, is going to go to 95%, and then 95% of 2, because cost per click is 2, our new bid will be 1.9. As you can see, what I did really slow change from $2 from cost per click. Just I bring it down 5% from cost per click. Now let's go further from our target. Now we are at 60% ACoS. Do the calculation. This parentheses is going to go to 85%. Now, as you can see, I am being more drastic with changes because I'm getting further from my target ACoS, which is 30%. So 80% of 2, 85% of 2, my new bid will be 1.7. So I just was drastic with my change. And finally, 90% of ACoS, I am far from my target. I have to do something because I'm wasting so much money here. My new bid, this parentheses with calculation gonna go to 0.7, right? And 0.7 multiplied by 2 equals to 1.4. But if you remember, we said we don't want to do any changes at once more than 0.8 cost per click. So my final bid would be 1.8 multiplied 2, which is 1.6. So even if you forget this, it's just the idea of if you are close, do a few changes. If you are like at 40, go a few cents, 5 cents, 10 cents. If you go further, go with higher drastic changes compared to this. This is just a formula to give you one reference and idea. Otherwise, you don't necessarily need to exactly go with this as long as you follow this idea of closer, less changes, further from your target ACoS, go with the bigger changes bigger decrease compared to cost per click to achieve your ACoS. Leon, do you have any question?
Yeah. So obviously this looks complex, but if you break it down and follow it when you're making changes, then I think you'll be able to follow. And essentially, what you want to do to kind of sum up, this is the math side of it, but essentially what you want to do is you look at your cost per click. You have a bid, you have a cost per click. Your target ACoS is 30, and your ACoS for the last 2 weeks has been 50%. You're going to essentially have to reduce the bid below the cost per click in order to bring down the cost, so you can reduce your cost per click so that you can reduce your ACoS. This is giving you the math of exactly how to figure out what that cost per click should be. Like Mansoor said, if you can't, it's harder for you to follow the math. Reduce the bid below the cost per click. The more of a difference between the target and where it's been, the more you need to reduce. Essentially, this is the math behind it. And you also want to make sure you have enough data. Like the option here, it says you might need more data. That you have enough data to make the decision, and that you're looking at a good enough period of time, right? You don't want to look at yesterday or the day before. You at least want to go back, at least 7 days, but you want to understand what's been happening in a time frame where you have enough clicks and attribution. And generally, we don't make decisions based on today and yesterday. So if I'm looking at a time frame, like here on the screen on my account, if let's say I want to look at the last week, I'm gonna go to 9 days ago or 2 days ago. Okay, so I'm gonna look at that. I'm gonna look at that period of time because I want to look at 7 days, but I don't want to look at today and yesterday because the attribution of the sales is not necessarily all in. That's kind of the basics of making sure. And at the same time, we talk about reducing bids. Same thing about increasing bids. If you have a target that's way below your target ACoS and you want to get more aggressive on it and drive more sales, then you increase the bid. Also, in this case, you would now do it above your bid, not above your cost per click, right? Because you already have a maximum sort of cost, bid that you set. Now you're going to increase based on the bid, and not cost per click.
So I want to take a few minutes just to do some few bid optimization for everyone to understand this more in depth. So the way we do it, first of all, I usually recommend to, when you do bid optimization, I personally, if I want to do manually, I do with bulk sheet, or if you are using software, with software. But first, you need to understand how to deal with that from Campaign Manager. So the way I deal with that is that I usually look at either 3 weeks or 30 days. Let's say we go with 30 days, right? And from 18 to 18, if you can see here, I'm skipping last 48 hours. Actually, from 17 to 17, last 48 hours, 18 is here as well, because these 2 days are not populated. The data is not correct. Apply. And if you want to do the best, what I always do, I click by spend. I want to first take care of the campaigns with highest spend to make sure they are performing. The ones that are having highest impact, I want to take care of them. And in the column, I'm going to need the ACoS. Let's add the ACoS. Cost per click, we need that. Okay, great. So one main thing, let's say your ACoS here is 20%. If this is performing at 13%, it doesn't mean you shouldn't look at it. There might be target, yes, campaign as a whole performing good, but there might be target inside this campaign that is not performing good. So we are going to open this campaign. We have ad group. If you remember, for the placements, we were talking here, you can see the placement performance, ACoS and everything for that. And then indicative keywords that you have added in account level, your budget rules that we didn't talk about, campaign setting, everything that we set up, you are now familiar with. Seems like this campaign has 100% top of search multiplier. And finally, history. Let's go to ad group. We are going to click on the exact match here and start with that. So same concept here. I want to make sure 17 to 17. First, sort by spend. It is sorted by spend. I want to take care of the targets that are first performing. My target ACoS, let's see what the number is. Let's say my target ACoS is 20%. I'm going to say, show me all the target ACOSs less or equal to, if it is 20%, as I mentioned, up to 22, I am fine, right? Up to 10%. Anything here, sorry, up to, what was the number? 18. From 18 to 20, I don't want to do any changes, but anything less than 18, I want to increase a bit. So I'll see all of these to make sure there are no campaigns here, no targets with 0 sales. I'm going to say anything that is greater than 0, right? I don't want to see any ones that's
Right.
not having any sales.
Because anything over 18 is also under 18 also equals 0 for
Right.
ACOS.
ACOS. Then I choose all of these. See, for instance, here, my cost per click is 0.94. My bid is 193. I want to increase this by 5% to see if it could perform. There is one thing you got to consider here. I don't want to get into that. There is 100% top of search multiplier. Let's assume that top of search multiplier is 0, because the bid optimization for that is a different scenario. So if I want to look at this, with what I mentioned, you're going to increase this with 5% to see if it can improve better. But one thing that, if I'm looking at this, I'm like, okay, with this bid, I'm still at 94% cost per click. Doesn't matter. Even if I bring this up, I'm still far from that. Seems like I'm not getting to that higher cost per click. So I won't change this.
So you have to use common sense. Okay. So for example, this keyword is Ravens Brew Coffee. First of all, it's a branded search, and it's likely maybe competitors are not bidding on it. So it's maybe you and a few others only that are actually like bidding, against that keyword. And so there isn't a lot of competition, which is why it is $2 and you're only paying 4 cents, because you're already winning at the auction. If I search this on Amazon, I'm already at the top of search. I can increase my bid to 100 and I'm already getting the maximum amount of impressions for that particular keyword. And the danger, by the way, in saying, hey, you know what, I'm only paying 94 cents. I'm just going to increase my bid to $10. If a competitor by chance wants to test you and wants to force you to spend, maybe they're going to put the bid on your brand name for $10. And if a competitor does that, then you're going to be paying that $10 as well to win the auction if you have a very high bid. So be careful with that. But you have to look at the keyword, see, okay, this keyword is likely not so competitive, and that's why I'm already winning, and I don't need to increase my bid in this case. And you understand that because you look at it, you see it's a brand name keyword target.
Right. And in terms of doing, let's say you want to increase, apart from common sense, let's say you want to increase everything with 5%. You can select all the bid, all the targets, click on adjust bid, increase by percentage, right? We said let's increase by percentage, and you say, okay, increase this with all the bids with 5%. Now you can see everything is increased. That is one. Now let's look at the ones that are having 0 sales, which ACOS is 0, right? This is going to be a good one. In this case, I'm going to go with the clicks. Oh, orders are 0. So it doesn't look like we have anything. There are some few, as you can see, we don't have enough data. I'm not going to do any changes because we have just 2 clicks. So usually one thing I do here is that I look at longer time period, then I'm looking at these 0 sales, because there might be situations that for long tail keywords, the ones with lower search volume, you don't see clicks in a matter of a month or weeks, but when you go longer time, you might see some results here. For this, in this case, no, it doesn't apply. We are good. So we are going to go back to this. And finally, let's look at our scenario case of ACOS greater than. Our goal is 20. Our safe zone is 20 to 22%. So I'm going to go greater than 22%. I'll sort with clicks. Let's look at the first one. My cost per click is 127. This is a good example. My bid is 248. Forget all those calculations. I am close to my target. So I'm going to do a very slow, gradual change here. So I'm going to go to 122. As you can see, I looked at my cost per click, not by bid, I get just 5 cents because I'm pretty close here.
Right.
Next one, 128, 127, 118. This is a great example that many managers I see make a mistake. Here, I'm like, okay, my cost per click is 127. My bid is this. What does this mean?
Right.
It means I have done optimization in the last period that I'm not seeing the influence yet. I'm not going to change this because it's already lower.
There's two scenarios, right? There's two scenarios that you could be. You want to ask yourself, how is this possible? One scenario is, I already went in and lowered the bid, or I'm using software, or somebody went in, lowered the bid. The other scenario is that the reason the cost per click is higher than the bid is because you have some kind of multiplier on the campaign, right? So if you do have a multiplier that is increasing your top of search placement, then you will see that you have a cost per click higher than the bid. So in that case, you might need to reduce the bid if there's that multiplier, or if there's no multiplier, you can probably leave it alone. The way to tell better is, right now we're looking at the last month, is to go and look at like, what are things like the last week, right? And that'll give me a better idea to see if the cost per click in the last week is less. Is there a multiple campaign, Mansoor?
There is a multiplier, but I didn't want to get to complexity of multiplier. That's why I said let's assume it is 0.
Right. So if you assume it's 0, then somebody lowered the bid. And then what you would want to do in that case is look at a shorter window of time than the last 30 days.
Right. And finally, the last one is the same, right? We see 245, the cost per click, and there's a bid 2.22. Seems like this here is because of placement, but I'm going to take this to 3. Let's say, assume this wasn't at 3. So in this case, I'm going to be a bit more aggressive. From 245, I would go to probably to 230 in this case, right? I'm doing 15 cents change. That is that. And let's, for the last thing, look at search terms. Usually we don't like the structure of campaign to be like this with different ad groups, but this is one campaign, is our research campaign. From here, we usually, I have one slide talking about this for the last discussion, that we want one match type, one target, but here, this is our research campaign. I'm gonna go to broad. So apart from optimization, you're gonna check the search terms as well, right? I'll go to the same time period. Let's go with the clicks. So let's see let's go with a longer time period to get better data in this scenario. So here we have this coffee, this keyword, this customer search is performing good. The first idea is that you got to do your search term analysis from the report and see the terms that are performing pretty good. Are you targeting them or not? If you are not targeting, you have to create campaign and target these terms in exact, phrase, and broad. Okay, that's the first thing we have to see. The second is that there might be some keywords that they are not. I'm going to actually filter to the ones that not bringing any orders equals to 0. So these terms, first of all, you sort them by click. If you are getting a lot of clicks, they are not getting sales, you gotta understand to negate them, or what is the situation. In this case, I don't have enough clicks, but also I want to see, is this even keywords related to me, to my product? Dead man's reach, I don't think so. I don't have enough clicks to judge, but at the same time, I don't know if it's related to.
Well, I see below it says dead man reach coffee as a search term, so it could be.
Yes, could be.
The brand, it could be branded, but maybe not.
If it is, if you know the product and if you know it is not related, you click that, go to targets and add that as, go to negative and add that as negative exact. Or if you have enough confidence, anything related to this is not related to your product at all, do as negative phrase. So going to the search term is important as well to understand what is happening there. And there are, for better results and faster, you can go to the sponsored ad reports from here. create report, and you have all these reports here. We don't have time to get to this, but this search term report gonna give you all the search terms across your account from different campaigns. You have these reports for brand and display as well. And finally, the last discussion is campaign structure. The way you can structure your campaign, Amazon provides you, is you have a campaign, you can have different ad groups, you can advertise different products and add different targets. Since the budget level is in campaign level, and let's say this campaign 1 here is performing good, campaign 2 performing bad, you can't identify what budget to go there. Amazon will just spread the budget. That is why we don't like this. We want to have control. So the structure that we follow is this: one campaign, one ad group, one product or one listing, and certain targets, right? In targets, we want to be just target exact keywords, or just target phrase keywords, or just target broad keywords. We have one campaign usually per our products for research with different match types, but right from there, when we move forward, everything is in one campaign, one ad group, one type of product, one match type, or it could be product targeting. So that is everything that you needed to know for this 101 advertising.
Yes, we hope you enjoyed the training, got a lot out of it. There's a lot of information here. Go back and watch, and you can get more information at Incrementum Digital, and we'll also share more information on how to access the Amazon Advertising Academy, or getting a free audit from Incrementum Digital.